up with line of card if you got that.
Michaels. Okay.
Yeah, I want to read the first names.
Easton Zangle.
Okay.
Is it Steers or Stiers?
Steers.
Steers, okay. Brady man.
Do a little intro in here, then we would
Yep, I'm ready to go.
get that in before we,
Yep.
before we do the national.
I'm going to do it right now. Ready?
We'll go ahead.
Radio Plus Sports.
Free throw line, nice back cut, and a find to Cale Peterson. And Gracie Gopalin puts it up, puts it in, gets knocked to the floor into the free throw line. A little crossover dribble, goes up with the right hand, gets it to go. Upon on a roll right now. Will go up with the left hand, puts it in. Another steal and a basket for the Randolph Rockets.
Vanderwerf getting the ball to Spies, and she pounds one down and puts it off the arms of Delaney Rudinger and out of bounds. Waldo's going to get it near the middle, and DeVries pushes it off to the right.
Off to the races the other way. Throws it up to Emba, throws it down and in. Unbelievable alley-oop to Ben Emba. Throws it down for the two. What a feed into Ben Emba from Will Sines.
Dual feeds Johannes again. That one off the window and in. Johannes to the line.
Thanks to our sponsors in today's game.
Laconia has the basketball with a chance. Madigan gets it in for Engel. Back to Madigan. Spots up. Got it! He scores!
And people, there are your state champions, the Randolph Lady Rockets. Congratulate them on an unbelievable storybook season. Your Waupun Lady Warriors are champions of Division III girls basketball.
The complete broadcast schedule can be found at radioplusinfo.com.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Gus and Waupun. Steve Winterhack along with Jeff Sauer to bring you some Waupun Warrior baseball here today at the Gus in Waupun. Another beautiful day.
Excellent.
This could be the last good day we see for quite some time. It looks like some pretty nasty stuff coming up next week, but just a perfect day for some baseball again. Waupun playing another non-conference game tonight, taking on the Lomira Lions here tonight, another team out of the Flyway Conference. And no luck with the team they played last night out of the Flyway, losing 12-8 in that ball game last night. So a little disappointing loss for the Waupun Warriors last night, and a pretty confident-looking Laconia team on the field against Waupun. They were hitting the ball pretty good and got a lot of runs early in the game and just kept Waupun at arm's length away and took it at the end.
Yeah, and I think that obviously doing a little bit of pitching by platoon mattered a little bit yesterday. Some people getting a chance to throw again for the opportunity to get back on the mound, and I think things will be a little bit different today with Mason Holtz going as the starting pitcher for the Waupun Warriors.
And you've got a team here that just got done playing a couple conference games against WLA, smoking them 10-0 in the second game yesterday, and on Tuesday beat them 11-6. So that's where you use your good pitchers. So we'll see who they throw here today against Waupun, but probably their main pitchers were used up in those two games. But still, Lomira is a team that preseason was expected to probably take the Flyway Conference again, and they were ranked pretty high in the state, but then they lost both of those games to Laconia by one run in their ball games earlier this season. So, but like I talked to one of the dads out there, one of the kids from Lomira, it's early part of the season. Let's see it's not how you begin, it's how you end the season. So they're still feeling pretty confident. So you got a pretty good quality team coming in with Lomira tonight, and a good test for Waupun before their busy week coming up next week.
Yeah, as you just mentioned, that Lomira was predicted to win the conference, and they started out their two first conference games were against Laconia, and Laconia was able to come out with one-run wins, and the Warriors losing 12-8 to the Laconia Spartans. So I'm expecting a little bit better contest. Again, I was kind of watching that game yesterday, and it kind of looked like it started out just like the Winneconne game where they were down, they battled back, but this time they had a stronger opponent who was able to push them and get the win out of here in that non-conference play.
Yeah, I like the Laconia coach over there. Greg Smith is a great guy, so I always wish them good luck throughout the entire season. We followed them all the way to the state championship game a few years back, And it'll be fun to kind of keep an eye on their team and see how they responded to maybe being overlooked a little bit coming into the season, but knocking off the team that was expected to win both games and then coming against a perennial good team with Waupun and taking care of business handily over here. So it should be fun to see what their confidence is for the rest of the season if they build off that with those wins against these two teams that are playing in front of us today.
And it's always good to have the local talent. I mean, we're talking about a half an hour drive at a max for not even, 20 minutes to Lomira and 10 minutes over to Rosendale Brandon, and that's pretty tight competition.
Should be about 15 minutes. You don't want to speed going towards over by Rosendale. So if you got to slow down when they have the speed limit says 25, you better be going 25 miles an hour through over in Rosendale. But again, looking forward to another ball game here today. That was our first game that at least that we did for the radio station and Radio Plus yesterday. So looking forward to a very busy week we have coming up next week. We've got some softball, we got some baseball, a lot of great teams around the area. So this should be a pretty fun spring of games to call. I think we're going to take a break right now, and we'll come back with more of our Home and Auto Sales pregame show coming your way in just a few minutes. Waupun Warrior Baseball right here on Radio Plus.
HomeandAuto.com. Check out our selection of over 400 new and used vehicles. HomeandAuto.com. Every vehicle from all 4 of our locations in one convenient place. Find your perfect car without leaving home at HomeandAuto.com. New vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and Ford. Pre-owned from $39.82 and certified pre-owned. Plus the warranties and hometown service you can depend on. Make the home and family your first stop at HomeandAuto.com. We make you feel at home at Homan.
Are you missing out on life? Does chronic joint pain prevent you from doing the things you love? I get it. All you think about is pain. This is Dr. Randy Blahoviak with New Medical Center. We have the solution to your problem. If you suffer from debilitating and chronic joint pain, learn how innovative medicine with human cellular tissue products can get you back to living your best life. Call New Medical Center for an alternative approach with innovative medicine at 920-249-8757.
Did you know that Ergo Bank of Marquezan and Fox Lake offers Kasasa Rewards checking accounts? All Kasasa Rewards accounts include refunds on ATM withdrawal fees. When you meet the monthly qualification criteria, there's no monthly maintenance fee and no minimum balance requirement. Best of all, you get rewarded for things you probably do anyway, such as using your debit card and setting up a direct deposit. Discover the benefits of opening a Kasasa Rewards checking account at Ergo Bank of Marquezan and Fox Lake.
Looking to boost that bottom line? Check out the Massey Ferguson 7700S Series tractor at Waupun Equipment Company. These versatile machines have a wide selection of engine, transmission, and hydraulic specs so you can get the perfect machine for the work you need it to do. High-quality engineering and the latest precision farming tools add value and help you find new ways to be profitable. All this from the straightforward, dependable Massey Ferguson 7700S Series. See Waupun Equipment in Waupun, Watertown, and Eden for details.
Hi, this is Bucky with All Phase Heating, Cooling, and Geothermal. Wisconsin weather, it goes through the phases, like us. Whether you need a repair to your current system or an upgrade to a brand new one, we have you covered in all seasons and all phases. Ask about our Guardian maintenance plans to help keep your units running efficiently and reliably all year through. Call 920-763-2301. That's 920-763-2301. Log on allphasecomforts.com.
Excellence in dentistry meets exceptional service. It's Dentistry of Wisconsin in Waupun and Beaver Dam. From routine cleanings, checkups, and maintenance to more advanced dental care and cosmetic services, choose Dentistry of Wisconsin. Doctors Metzger's, Truckenbrod, Dittman, and Warner, along with their friendly staff, are here to care for you. Visit their state-of-the-art facilities in Waupun and Beaver Dam, accepting new patients. Dentistry of Wisconsin. They'll give you a reason to smile both inside and out.
A reminder for everyone that Bent's Automotive is open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. and on Saturdays by appointment only. Keeping your vehicle in tip-top running condition is essential. Call 324-9962 for Bent's Automotive. Get the quality repair and maintenance services you need from the automotive technicians you can trust. Bent's Automotive at the corner of Carrington and Main Streets in beautiful downtown Waupun. Call 920-324-9962 to schedule your service or repair needs today. This game is powered by C. Broxma Electric of Waupun. C. Broxma Electric has serviced the electrical needs for Waupun and the surrounding area for over 18 years. From small residential jobs to agricultural, industrial, and commercial jobs, they do it all. For quality work and prompt, courteous service, contact your State of Wisconsin licensed electrical contractor in our area. C. Broxma Electric at 920-319-1614 or check them out online at cbelectric.net.
Andy with us here at the Other Bar Main Street in downtown Waupun. The weather's turning, Andy. It's baseball weather, your favorite, right? Here we go.
Absolutely. The Brewers are on. It's my time of year. The kids are playing well, rolling right along. You can guarantee we've always got the Brewer games going every time they're playing.
Some of the tap lines are always changing, Andy. Some of the seasonal stuff. Talk about that for us.
We're starting to transition over some of the darker stuff and into some of the lighter stuff for summer. We've got a sour on tap right now, and you can definitely find our featured beer from Three Sheeps called the Other Bar Pills. That one we got rolling. That's a mainstay. You'll have to chop in and check out what we got. We got 16 different tap lines going and constantly rolling barrels over, and Steve and I are making things interesting as we go.
11 o'clock is when you open daily, in and out for lunch too.
We've always got something going on in the special board. You'll have to stop in and see what Tierney's rolling out of the kitchen for that day. We always have hot beef, hot pork, and hot turkey with mashed potatoes and gravy. That's pretty much a mainstay, but Tierney is always rolling something out every day.
Andy, have a great week. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
The Other Bar, Main Street, downtown Waupun.
We are back at the Gus in Waupun. Steve and Jeff ready to bring you some high school baseball non-conference action. Waupun taking on the Lomira Lions at the Gus in Waupun. Let's take a look at Waupun and their defense here. They're putting on the field ace pitcher Mason Holtz on the mound, the lefty. He's been having a great season so far. Hunter Camp is behind home plate. Jake Krieger is at first base. Brady White, he's at second base. Evan Sauer, the shortstop. Emmett Hull, he is at third base. Left to right in the outfield is Conrad Davis, Bryant Ferris, and Ethan Cunningham. For the Lomira Lions, their batting order, Turner Wagner, the left fielder, will be leading off, followed by shortstop Talon Litke. Josh Stager, the first baseman, batting third. Cleanup batter is Brady Mann, the center fielder. Then right fielder Connor Steers, batting fifth, followed by Easton Zangel. He is their catcher. Then pitcher Weston Poth. Designated hitter Matt Shelvin and Colton Michaels will be batting ninth, and he is their third baseman. And we are ready to go here at Waupun and the Gus here at Waupun High School. Again, great facility, great day, perfect day, unless you're probably standing out in first base, second base, or right field looking right into the sun and get the fly balls out there. But it's all part of the deal, I guess, this time of the day.
And it'll be interesting to see. I mean, you don't usually have such high winds, at least that I can recall, at this time of year. And yesterday's game, and all games this week, has been very windy out there, and it's played a lot of havoc with the ball, and it's been difficult for both defenses to adjust to the wind.
Yep, another strong, windy day. I didn't think it was. Of course, by my house, I got all the garages around me. I thought, man, it's not windy at all today. And I come over here, and it's just, again, some pretty strong winds. Couldn't even really put up our sign as far as the sandwich board thing out there. That would have just blew it across the parking lot like it did yesterday for me. And we are ready to go. First pitch on the way, and that is a called strike on a fastball right down the middle from Mason Holtz into Turner Wagner. Nice start there for Waupun. We are underway. Next pitch is going to miss just a bit inside. Evens the count now at 1-1.
Mason's really most effective when he stays in front of the hitter, which is the same for all pitchers.
Working the outside part of the plate. No offer on that one from Wagner, but that one paints the outside for a strike. Makes the count 1-2. Haven't seen Mason work since last year, so I'm kind of excited to watch him pitch today. This was hit out towards right field. Ethan Cunningham has to take a few steps off to his left and hauls it in for out number one.
Now up number one, Jack.
Nice job there by Ethan to be able to get underneath it, make sure the sunglasses were down, and wind didn't play much of a factor in that one.
Up to bat now is Talon Litke, their shortstop, right-handed hitter. On deck is Josh Stager. Nick Rush, he might be kind of going for Lomira. He's a Lomira graduate.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm guessing he graduated somewhere around 99 or 2000, somewhere in that area.
Just a youngster.
Just a kid, yeah. And he played under Pete Drexler, who was there. I forgot what he said, how many years that Pete was there. Pete Drexler, a legend over there. About 30 years he was there, and he retired from coaching about 5 years or so ago. That one drops into the zone for a called strike. Puts the count at 2-1 into Lidke. Got a chance to meet Pete. Real nice guy. Definitely a baseball guy. He's a wealth of knowledge of baseball and taught Nick everything he knows of baseball. Now Nick's the coach for his son Henry out there coaching him. I'm not sure, he's around 7 or 8 years old, somewhere in that area.
Well, you're kind of in that area too, but as a grandpa, right?
That's a little different now. Look at it. So, a swing and a miss on some high heat. Nice pitch there from Mason Holtz, and going down swinging is Talon Lidke. Nice looking pitch there from Mason Holtz.
Josh Stager on deck.
I'm going to tell the story about Nick. When I first met Pete, and he asked where Nick Rush was, and I said, well, Nick's not here today. I'm doing the game. He goes, well, tell him he still has to give me his jersey back from when he played from about 15 years ago at that time. And I said, I don't think he's going to return it. It's in a frame down in his in his man cave right now, so I don't think you're going to get it back from him. But
yeah, it's amazing what the coaches remember, right?
Oh yeah, not sure if if he was just teasing or not. But Nick said he really asked about that. So called strike on the inside part of the plate to the right-handed hitting Josh Stager.
This, I think, is probably the defensive set that you're going to see out of the Waupun Warriors as their strongest set, with Mason on the mound.
Yeah, when Mason's not on the mound, he's usually standing out in center field. And he was at first base for a little while yesterday, too. So a versatile guy. Nice to have a lefty once in a while over at first base. Nothing wrong with that. 2-1's the count. Big swing on that one is going to get fouled out of play over on the right field side. I like that. Once we lost that big pond out there, we lost so many.
Yeah.
We were going to go broke as a program just because all the balls that ended up going in the drink over there in the retention pond. But luckily they fixed that. That one popped in the air over in short right field. Cunningham going in and going out for it. He is light, and it's going to fall right in between them. Yeah, they both, I'm not sure who wanted to take over the ball. It's a long run for Cunningham out of right field, and then all of a sudden I saw Brady White, the second baseman, kind of stop, and it landed maybe about 2 feet between each one of those guys, and a base hit on that one for Stager.
It almost looked like that Cunningham had called off White because just the way he ducked out of the way, or maybe because it was a little bit over his head, and it just fell right between them.
Yeah, I agree. That's just my body language. Now you got a pretty good hitter here with Brady Mann up to bat. Worked with his dad Scott for many a year, and he was a guy that was getting looked at from Division I colleges for baseball, and he also played for a national championship team over at Oshkosh. This is popped in the air in the infield, and this time Brady White goes in, squeezes it, and Waupun shuts the door on Lomira in the top half of inning number 1. Just one base hit, one runner stranded. Nobody scores, one strikeout, and after one half of inning, no score in the ball game. Back with Waupun's half of inning number 1 coming your way in just 90 seconds on Radio Plus.
If you're looking for someone to take care of your tree needs, call Eli at Torres Tree Service of Waupun. He's been in the business for 10 years and started up Torres Tree Service 3 years ago. Eli and his team can remove trees big or small, even those hard-to-get-to trees. They do tree trimming and stump grinding, and the job's not done until they put topsoil and seed where the tree was removed, clean up the debris, and haul it away. Join the many satisfied customers by calling Torres Tree Service in Waupun at 920-344-5887. The Hour Bar on Main Street, Waupun is a great place to meet friends. Owners Bob and Tana invite you to join them for their daily specials and great atmosphere. They also bring in top-notch entertainment and host many special events. The Hour Bar is also the perfect place to cheer on the Packers, Bucks, Brewers, and Badgers. There's TVs everywhere you look. After today's game, head to the Hour Bar, 433 East Main Street, Waupun, a proud supporter of high school sports.
Let's spring into a new career with Saputo. Become part of a great company and team. Due to their continued growth, Saputo has full-time benefit-eligible maintenance and 12-hour shifts available in their Alto facility. Saputo offers entry-level pay starting at just under $23 per hour and operator's pay starting at over $26 an hour. Great benefits and shift pay. Log on saputo.com/careers. Spring into a new career at Saputo. Saputo is an equal opportunity employer.
We are back for the bottom. And again, we're back for the bottom half of inning number 1. Steve Witterhack with you. Jeff's going to go check out a camera over on the third base side Quite a setup here with cameras by each dugout, one out in center field and one right behind home plate, so we got you covered all around the field. Let's take a look at Waupun Warriors and their batting order here today. Emmett Hull will be leading off. Mason Holtz batting second. Evan Sowers batting third. Jake Krieger is the cleanup batter, followed by Chase Bean, the DH. Ethan Cunningham, Bryant Ferris, Conrad Davis, and Hunter Camp. On the mound now, right-handed pitcher for Lomira is Weston Poth. Easton Zangle behind home plate. Here's Weston's first pitch. He's going to miss outside for ball one. Josh Stager over at first base. Eli Filber, the second baseman. Shortstop Jack Lidke. Colton Michaels at third base. Left to right in the outfield, Turner Wagner, Brady Mann, and Connor Steers. That is Lomira defensively. Ball game today. Another one misses outside. Makes it a 2-0 count to Emmett. Another one just off the plate, a little closer, but still off the plate for another ball. Now I'll count as 3-0. Emmett having multiple hits. Yes, was it 2 or 3 yesterday for Emmett? Oh, he's on base. Yeah, he got on base quite a bit. What you want from that leadoff hitter? Find a way to get on. Walk, hit, make him make a play out there, and that's what he did. And that's what he's been doing so far this season for Waupun. Called strike on the next pitch. Makes the count 3-1 to Hull. That one down to the dirt, and the ball gets past the catcher, and make sure that he keeps that catcher honest there and runs hard up the first baseline, which you're supposed to do. So a walk issued to Emmett, and that'll put Mason Holtz to the plate. He had himself a great game yesterday. I believe 3 hits in that game. Loss, of course, to Laconia by a score of 12-8. It's their first loss of the season. Waupun now sitting at 5-1. A big week coming up for the Warriors next week. And a full schedule really tests the depth of your pitching staff coming up next week. First pitch into Mason misses just a bit low. Got the broadcast buddy normally, Randy Armga, out humping the bases. He did a Randolph and a Green Lake girls softball game yesterday. Thought, well, that'll take a little over an hour. That game, but the ending score in that game was Randolph beating Princeton Green Lake 16-11 and went 2 hours and 15 minutes. So he had a long day out there yesterday. Thought it was going to be a short one. 1-1 the count now to Mason. Runner at first base, nobody out, no score on your new medical integrated healthcare scoreboard. Emmett takes off on the pitch. That one's down to the dirt and no throw over to second base, so that gets Hull over to second base. In scoring position now for the Warriors. 2-1 the count to Holtz, with Evan Sauer awaiting on deck. Yeah, good stiff breeze heading out again towards left field. Going to help those, sort of left or left center field is heading out in that direction. A beautiful day. Did a little bike ride today. That was nice. Didn't get as much riding in as I thought. I stopped over by the Armga household and ended up talking for about a half an hour. That cut into my bike ride today, but still it was nice to get out and about. Holtz swings on the next one, but fouls it back and out of play. Got nothing done on the honeydew list at all today. So hopefully the wife isn't checking at all the spots that I was supposed to get things done today. But hey, I'm a busy guy sometimes, especially on game days. 2-2 the count now to Mason. Runner at second base. That one is kind of poked right back at the pitcher. He catches it on the line drive right back at Poth. Turns around, throws to second, but Hull getting back safely. So kind of poked, not a hard hit ball, but kind of backhanded by Poth. Spun right away to throw it to second, but Hull easily back to second base. So 1 out. Still at runner at second. No score in the game, and Evan Sauer up to bat for the Warriors. Evan batting .364 on the season. First pitch into him misses for ball 1. .1-0 the count on Sauer with that runner at second. Both a few checks over to second base and brings it home. It's chopped on the ground and foul over on the third base side. Puts the count now at 1-1. Up and running?
Up and running.
All right. See, I was riding a bike to exercise today. Jeff's is fixing his cameras for exercise today, so that's...
Steps and ladder crawls.
Yes. 1-1 the count on Sauer. This one down to the dirt, and that squirts away from the catcher's angle off to his left, and that'll easily let Hull get over to third base. Waupun with a runner 90 feet away, trying to get on the board first in this ball game. Lomira wearing their red jerseys, the Lions. White lettering and black highlights and white pants. Waupun in their gray jerseys with black sleeves and the gold highlights.
Grab what you want.
Along with the white pants. Just try to give you a visual if you aren't watching and you are listening on the radio. Yeah, this is going to hit a nice hit right between shortstop and third base, an RBI single for Sauer. Nice bit of hitting there. Just a nice easy stroke taking it out to left field, and Waupun leading 1-0.
Waupun has done a really good job this year as well as in the past as making sure when they've gotten that runner in scoring position at third to make sure that they've been able to push him across. And Evan, great piece of hitting there to get Emmett Hull across the plate.
Yeah, they've been very aggressive just from what I saw for the few games this week. Very aggressive on the base paths. And heading off and running right now, taking off is Sauer. Head for a slide and safe. It kind of squirts out to center field, but Evan will stay right where he's at second base. So a stolen base for Sauer. With Jake Krieger up to bat. Jake batting .350 on the season.
You know, and people are going to hear us say the same thing, but this Waupun team is still rather young. Jake Krieger, a sophomore, played full-time last year as a freshman.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to Derek Stanke yesterday. Interviewed him yesterday, and it's just a team out there that you got people like Evan Sauer that's been up on varsity. I mean, he was their main catcher that whole season his freshman year, and
right.
I mean, he is a junior with 3 years of experience in. So that's guys like that. Mason Holtz with some experience in young and still
makes a difference when you
nice
get to
player.
see those upper level pitchers at the plate and do that many times.
Pitch is going to miss low into Krieger. 2-1 the count with one down, one run in. Runner at second base for the Warriors. Two, 1 the count. And Weston Poth on the mound. Let's check over to second base. Brings the pitch home, and that's hit out opposite field to right field, but foul on the right field line. Jeff, we just don't show up to games. We got to do a lot of things ahead of time. Now, you're going to be going over to Randolph, you said, maybe to check out the area over there when we go do a baseball game coming up next week. Not much there. It's very scarce for bleachers or anything. Nothing behind the backstop, and we're just going to be out there. I don't know if we'll see what the weather's going to be like. We might be wearing coats that day next week. Or
That's what it
umbrellas.
sounded like, definitely, didn't
Not
it?
Sure.
Yep, so...
hard hit ball again, this time down the left field line. But foul. Count is at 2-2. Yeah, I've been there. My worst ever weather game was over there. I did a game. I thought it was going to be an easy, fast game. Oakfield over at Randolph. It's going to be done fast. Oakfield's really good. Number one team in the state. Well, Oakfield went through their batting order 2.5 times the first time in. There was freezing rain falling, straight line, winds. It was just coming in. I had a canopy thing that I had bolted down, but it was coming right into the side, and that was just nasty. That lasted way too long.
Yeah, I kind of have learned my lesson. I still am getting used to this. I still consider myself a greenhorn here, but one of the things they keep telling me, and I believe it, is you got to get to these facilities, that pass ball right there.
Yeah, that one down in the dirt away from the catcher, and an easy base there for Sauer. Now over at third base.
With only one out still, so we'll see again if it holds true that they'll get that runner to come across here with Jake Krieger. But, yeah, you keep telling me prepare. So I'm going to see what different setups we can do.
Yeah, that's what Kerry Longery does over at Fond du Lac for the games. Oh, that one's going to get all the way back to the backstop on ball 4, and it also brings Sauer in from third base. So Waupun now leading 2-0. Runner at first, only one down, and that'll bring up Chase Beam to the plate. Second walk of the inning from Weston Poth.
Chase Beam, only a freshman in the DH spot.
And one of those guys out there, not built like a freshman. He's a solid-looking kid, strong kid. He's been having a great season so far. Batting .389 at number 5 slot right now for the Waupun. So great future here for Waupun baseball. It's going to get swung on and fouled back and out of play. Got Emmett over at third base. Again, another one of those freshmen. And yeah, it's just crazy, the youth on this team for Waupun.
Yeah. It's going to be fantastic as they continue to build. I mean, they're still competitive. I mean, that's what's amazing. We're following them here because we believe that they're going to have a chance to do a deep run towards the state tournament.
Conrad Davis and Hunter Camp, the only seniors. What happened to the senior class? The girls' basketball team did not have a senior on the team. Everybody is back for that team this year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some really good players, good mix of some experienced players and some new players on the girls' softball team in Waupun. I know they got some great pitching coming up. I can't wait to get over there and do a game or two for them this season.
Yeah, I think we got them on, it's either Tuesday or Thursday. We have them next week, I believe.
Yeah. Great place to do a game from up there. They built that nice little booth, another floor above their concession stand right behind home plate. A great place to call a game. Swinging and missing on the next pitch in. And Beam is out. Runner does advance over to second base. So Beam, a strikeout victim, out number 2, but the runner does get himself over to second base. Krieger over there. And up to bat is Ethan Cunningham. Brian Ferris on deck. Have you been up there in the girls?
I did do a game last year. I believe it was a doubleheader that I did on a Saturday morning. It's one of those things that I wasn't thinking clearly, and there was an 8 o'clock starting game, and I decided that told them I would go up there and do it, and I did. First time ever doing it, and it was a really good game. But again, I think now with some of the equipment we have, we'll even get a better setup there we'll have an outfield camera there as well, and maybe we'll see what I can get done in the dugout area, or maybe shooting just from off the side there.
Foul ball on the first pitch into Cunningham makes the count 0-1. Runner at second base, 2 down. This one is down, called strike on the next pitch in.
Thought it was a little bit lower.
I thought so, but Randy's taught me don't question the umpiring.
Right.
He's sensitive to that.
Well, yes, and he could have pulled enough of a speed off of that. At the front of the plate, it might have been in the strike zone, but not in the back of the plate.
0-2 the count now to Cunningham. Here's the pitch from Poth. It's going to miss just off the plate. Yeah, nice. I was going to talk about that booth up there, too. They've got it all drywalled. They've got heat up there. They've got air conditioning up there. They've got food downstairs. You could actually live there if you had to. You have brats in the freezer. You can cook a few of those up, and you could live upstairs above the concession stand over at the softball diamond. This one's chopped over the top of second base. Shortstop steps in. Litke throws it to first in time to stagger to get the out, but not before Waupun comes up with 2 runs on 1 base hit. There was a strikeout, 2 walks, 1 runner stranded, and after 1 complete, Waupun leading 2-0 over Lomira. Back with the top of the second inning in just 1 minute on Radio Plus.
And after 1 inning complete.
HomeandAuto.com. Check out our selection of over 400 new and used vehicles. HomeandAuto.com. Every vehicle from all 4 of our locations in one convenient place. Find your perfect car without leaving home at HomeandAuto.com. New vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and Ford. Pre-owned from $39.82 and certified pre-owned. Plus the warranties and hometown service you can depend on. Make the home and family your first stop at HomeandAuto.com. We make you feel at home at Homan.
Are you missing out on life? Does chronic joint pain prevent you from doing the things you love? I get it. All you think about is pain. This is Dr. Randy Blahoviak with New Medical Center. We have the solution to your problem. If you suffer from debilitating and chronic joint pain, learn how innovative medicine with human cellular tissue products can get you back to living your best life. Call New Medical Center for an alternative approach with innovative medicine at 920-249-8757.
Okay, we are back at the Gus in Waupun, and just to let you know for the viewers or for the listeners out there that now we are just on Radio Plus, which you can find us on YouTube and just search for Radio Plus or go to our website at radioplusinfo.com, but we're just on a Radio Plus doing the video streaming now, and also on 93.7 FM, AM 1170, and 103.3 FM. Some people can't get to a computer right now and just have a radio available. So it's nice we have that for you, too. That's why I'm as descriptive as I am of the game. Otherwise, I kind of let the video speak for itself. But
yeah. And sometimes I know I cause the confusion, but some games are RP games, and some I just broadcast on YouTube for the local fans that are here. So sorry about any of the confusion that's out there, but we love having all the viewers watching the baseball games and the softball games and all around the whole area.
Yeah, we thank you for that, too. That's a nice service to provide. Even when we're not here with the radio, you're still doing with your business yet and do a great job and got the game covered well. And that's a nice thing. People like Rich and Shire Camp House getting a chance to watch it, normally coming down to the games. So I'm glad that Rich and Shire can join us for the games and watch from the comfort of their home. So we thank them for joining us.
I did have Jake Krieger's grandpa, and I didn't pick up the name. I should have, but had said he thanked me last night when I was picking stuff up.
Oh, Jerry?
Yeah, he's here for the summer, but he said in the winter he got to see Jake play some basketball.
Oh, yeah, he was real thankful. They responded almost every game that we did with Jerry and Chris, Jake's grandpa and grandma. We go back a long time. I used to play volleyball with them back in the day.
Oh.
Yeah. And this is a sharp hit ball, backhanded and knocked down over at shortstop by Sauer. Throws it across the diamond, but boy, what a nice play just to knock it down and actually make it fairly close over at first for Sauer. But safe over at first base is Connor Steers.
Couldn't quite get up to his feet, but what an amazing play there for Evan Sauer.
Easton Stengel coming up now, the catcher with a runner at first base, leadoff hitter on. And a called strike in the first pitch into Zangel, no offer. If you want to check in, you can get on the chat line. Let us know you're there. I know that Missy Holtz is watching. I'm sure right now that she's here. I don't know, but she usually responds.
Yeah, she had responded once before that. I think she said she had a hamstring injury that I think she had talked about. So even though she was here, it was difficult for her to actually get out and come out and watch the game. So she appreciated the fact that she could watch it on her phone.
Also, Diane Harmson, even though I think she's here, she's also watching or listening right now. And she says, go Emmett. She says, go Travis. Favorite son-in-law, she said, down there. So
the announcer here is just rocking it up here and filling in. So
doing a great job. We don't miss a beat. Except he won't sing the national anthem. Quite doesn't want to go full Scotty on us and sing the national anthem up here. So, but he does play and does a great job up here too. People do appreciate when you get a good PA announcer at places. There are some bad ones out there, and it just makes it kind of irritating when you go to games. I think we take care of you here at Waupun.
Good pitch there by Mason Holtz. Get him looking for that strikeout.
Yeah, Zangel goes down and just a little fooled at that one to call it strike. So that's the second strikeout of the game for Mason Holtz. One out on the board, still a runner at first base, and Weston Poth, the pitcher, up to bat, right-handed hitter. And that is hit right up the middle. It's going to make it out to center field. Nice line drive. First pitch hit by Poth, putting runners now at first and second base. That brings number 8 in the batting order, the designated hitter, Matt Shelvin, up to bat.
Really smart piece of hitting and paying attention to what Mason Holtz has been throwing out there. Mason likes to get ahead of the count when he's focused, and he's been throwing first pitch strikes. A good read there by Weston Poth.
Guessing Matt Shelvin might be a linebacker on the football team, maybe a fullback or something up there. I did do a Lomira football game when they played Mayville. Mayville had a couple unbelievable seasons over there, but I did do the game with Lomira at Mayville, and that might be one of the guys I saw out there. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, we also talked about this before. I mean, a lot of these athletes that are out here, Waupun, Laconia, Lomira, Randolph, they're all multi-sport athletes. You don't really just have one, the specialist out there, and the coaches do a great job of communicating and sharing the talent.
Yeah, you need that. The smaller the school, the more you need the people to be playing 3 sports out there. And I've said it before, too, that every sport helps the other one. My son played tennis, actually. He didn't play baseball. Which disappointed me, but I did like watching him play tennis. And he did play college tennis after that, too. But that really helped him for basketball, too. Just your foot quickness, your response to getting to places. He got to everything on the basketball court and everything on the tennis court. And now playing pickleball, I tried to dink a few in on him. He still gets to those things. But it does help you with all sports, helps the other sports. Big swing and a miss by Matt Shelvin on the next pitch in. Puts the count at 1-1. Runners at first and second. 2-0 lead for Waupun. Carissa Harmson also listening and trying to watch at work. You supposed to be doing that, Carissa?
Shh.
Says go Emmett and the rest of the Warriors. Next pitch is going to miss low. Puts the count at 2-1.
Well, unless she's working at one of our establishments here and they've got it up on the television. We've had those watching parties too, right?
Not sure. I'm not sure where she works right now. Does she have Quick Trip at the pharmacy? That's right, pharmacy, yeah. Well, it's not always busy in there. It's nice for them to have that availability there.
Mason in a little trouble here right now. With only one down, runners at first and second, behind 3-1 in the count. Like you said, the bodybuilder, I don't know that I'd want to be there.
Comes a 3-1 pitch. Some high heat and a swing and a miss by Shelvin. Just one challenged him on that pitch. Big opportunity here for Lomira with one down, runners at first and second base. With the designated hitter, Matt Shelvin, up to bat. That one's going to miss low, and he loses them. And now bases are loaded.
Yeah, Mason really wanted that one. He was looking at it. He thought he had it right there, right at the knees. But behind the plate, saw it differently.
Here we go, number 9 in the batting order, but bases are loaded. One down, Waupun with a 2-0 lead, and Lions threatening here in the top of the second inning. Colton Michaels up to bat, the third baseman. Nice pitch toward the outside part of the plate for a called strike. No offer for Michaels. Turner Wagner at the top of the order awaiting on deck. See if Waupun can do a little escape act here now, and a little situation here with bases loaded. Holtz's 0-1 pitch is going to miss a little inside, maybe a little low. Count is 1-1.
Mason does a nice job with that of moving the ball around. He likes to move it out and then bring it inside, and it helps set up his breaking ball.
That one is swung on and fouled back and out of play. 1-2 the count now on Colton Michaels. Huge out now upon looking to get this one and keep those guys right where they're at and face that top of the order with bases loaded. That's the ideal plan, or a double play. Comes the 1-2 pitch for Mason Holtz.
There it is.
And he strikes him out. Man, stuck that way up high and away and just curved right down through the strike zone. Totally froze Michaels. He goes down looking. The second strikeout of the inning. 2 out. And still runners at all the bases. And top of the order, Turner Wagner coming up to the plate. Second strikeout with a guy going down looking in the inning.
Mm-hmm.
Turner flew out back in the first inning. Flew out to right field. Ooh, that one paints the outside part of the plate. Again, kind of starting off the plate, and it just came in enough to catch the outside part. Called strike one. One dropped in two. A two-hopper over to second base. That is picked up by Brady White. Flips it over to Krieger at first base, and Waupun escapes, leaving bases loaded. A couple base hits, one walk, couple strikeouts, and 3 runners stranded. Nobody scores. Waupun, after 1.5 innings, leading 2-0 on your new medical integrated healthcare scoreboard. Back in 1 minute with the bottom of inning number 2 on Radio Plus.
With mycnhistore.com, you can manage your equipment at any time, from anywhere, all from the convenience of your laptop or phone. Just search genuine New Holland parts by category, model, or part number, and keep your equipment running efficiently. Need a genuine New Holland part and don't have time to wait? Visit mycnhistore.com and get it done faster. Waupun Equipment Company, Waupun in Watertown. Log on waupunequipment.com and like them on Facebook.
Hi, this is Jackie with All Phase Heating, Cooling, and Geothermal. Let our family take care of yours. We offer American Standard and Coleman furnaces and air conditioners that come with a 15-year parts and a 10-year labor warranty. Schedule us to come out and make sure your furnace, AC, or geothermal units are running at peak efficiency. Serving Fond du Lac, Dodge, Columbia, and Green Lake counties. Call 920-763-2301. That's 920-763-2301. Log on to allphasecomforts.com.
Okay, we are back for the bottom of inning number 2, and your Waupun Warriors are now leading 2-0 over the Lomira Lions. Thanks for joining us on Radio Plus. Be sure to get the word out there to people. Let them know that you'll find us right here or on the radio. I know some places that people work at that you can't have a TV, and they can listen to the game on 93.7 FM, AM 1170, and 103.3 FM. 2-0 Waupun, bottom of the order up for Waupun, 7, 8, and 9 with Brian Ferris starting. On deck it is Conrad Davis and Hunter Camp over on the hole now for Waupun.
Yeah, after you listen to it to the radio, they can go back and watch it then on the replay over on YouTube. Here's the pitch.
What was the correction on that?
Number 20 for Lomira was Talon.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying on the radio. So we got her. Thank you, though. Okay, so it's good to get the right pronunciations on things.
Oh, well, we tout that. That's one, or at least I tout it.
Oh, and that one's going to be a little too far inside, and that hits Brian Ferris. And it checked and turned and ended up getting hit by the ball, but just fine. It heads up the first base line, so a runner on to lead off for Waupun here in the bottom half of inning number 2.
That was kind of Brian's specialty last year, is he knew, and he'd wear it if any chance he could to get on base because he gets to use that speed.
Speaking of speed, we've got Conrad Davis up to bat, the left fielder. There's another guy that can fly around the base pass. Saw him do it yesterday. Showing bunt, and does attempt, but it fouls it back into the screen. He had a little miscommunication, kind of looked at Coach Stanke over at third base, and he's kind of putting his hand out like, maybe I didn't get the sign over there or what, something with the right connection, I guess. But 0-1 the count for Conrad. Yeah, good to see. You mentioned his injury problems that he had for such a long time. It's good to see him back out there playing. Nice little bunt over towards the pitcher. Had to go quite a ways to get it.
Yes.
And that sails over the first baseman. Good backup, though, by the second baseman over there to back up that play. But, again, that goes past the first baseman. Runners at the corners now for Waupun.
You were talking about it there. Right there, Steve. You saw it, the speed.
Yeah.
By the time the pitcher was able to – it was a perfect bunt. And the pitcher just had to rush it to get there, and Conrad steps on the base. But it was even a better defensive play. I agree with you. The second baseman backing that up.
Yeah, that was a nice job. But, yeah, sometimes you look and all of a sudden you see a guy that close to first base, you rush the throw, and that just throws things off, too. You force a bad throw.
Yeah.
So up to bat now is Hunter Camp. He had himself a couple doubles and a single yesterday in that number 9 slot. He did that last year, too, and there he is again, the guy setting up the top of the order by getting some base hits and getting on and aggressive on the base pass. Nice guy at number 9. I like that when you put a guy in there that has a good batting average and can make things happen leading right into the top of the order.
And as you mentioned, the only senior that's out here playing right now on the team.
So runners at the corner, still nobody out. Runners going. That's going to squirt away from the catcher. He does find it, only rolled maybe 10 feet away from him and picks it up. A lot of panicked yelling by his bench on where the ball was. It's not the easiest thing. You see it here because you're watching it, but when you're standing, all of a sudden the ball could be right between your legs and you won't see it. Then you do depend on your teammates to let you know where it's going. So runners at second and third for Waupun. Hunter Camp with a 1-1 count. Fooled on that one, little off-speed stuff, and fouls it down to the ground, makes the count 1-2. Kind of jumping at it a little early and makes some contact, but foul. Count is now 1-2 with nobody out. Top of the order waiting on deck with Emmett Hull. Okay, just pokes that one out. What a nice job of hitting by Camp. That'll bring at least one run in, and they're going to hold him up over at third base. But a good job just sticking the bat out there and putting it between the second baseman and second base out to center field, and an RBI single for Camp, continuing with a hot bat for Waupun.
Yeah, just as you had said, that's the man you want up with nobody out or one down and runners out on the base pads. He finds a way to get the bat on it, and there was nothing hard about that. Stuck the bat out there just like you said and gets the base hit and the RBI.
That brings the top of the order up with Emmett Hull up to bat. He worked himself a walk in the first inning and scored Waupun's first run. Mason Holtz waiting on deck. Big opportunity here for Waupun to put just a little bit more between them and Lomira, up 3-0, scoring 1 this inning, 2 in the first. Runners at the corners for the Warriors. That one's going to bend right through the strike zone for a called strike. No offer from Emmett.
Nice pitch there by Poth.
Yeah, he's got a little stuff and a little movement on the pitches, a change of speed. Not a bad pitcher. Like I said, they probably burned up their main pitchers in conference play against the WLA. Though they beat them pretty convincingly, 10-0 yesterday. And going on the pitch is Hunter Camp. Seems like every time one of our guys goes, the catcher fumbles with the ball.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really even throw it up a second. Just one time so far in the game, maybe.
It speaks a lot out there about Hunter Camp, too. I mean, he's your catcher. Typically, you have a runner for your catcher, and he's out there running the bases.
Hunter's now at second and third. This is going to miss outside. Remember the years when Waupun won state? I don't know if that was back in about 2006. And you had Luke Marwitz behind home plate. And there, I'd say that's easily the fastest catcher I've seen.
Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
one of the fastest guys I ever saw to run the bases was Luke. And on the football field, when he handed him the ball, it was quite the football teams they had back in those days.
Yeah, exactly.
One, they say, catches the outside part of the plate on the fastball from the pitcher, Poth. Makes the count 3-2 to Emmett.
Just speaks about how the Warriors have just been a good team for a long time.
Yeah, we've been spoiled here in Waupun.
Mm-hmm.
Softball, baseball, both have been very good. And fools him on that one. Swing and a miss. And throw down to first base as the ball was dropped by the catcher and into the hands of the first baseman for the out to make it official. So that keeps runners at second and third and puts and out on the board with runners at second and third base. And that'll bring up Mason Holtz to the plate. He lined one back to the pitcher back in the first inning.
Yeah, you were mentioning it before, Steve. I talked to the Lomira coach when I was putting up the camera. He did say they threw their ace last night and that they were going to be throwing a platoon approach, because I kind of said right now that's kind of where we're sitting right now for Waupun, to try and find who that second starter is going to be, at least from what I've observed.
A lot of guys to go to, just to see who's going to take over those spots as your main 1 or 2 or 3 go-to guys. And Mason definitely has that locked down as the guy for the main pitcher for Waupun, the ace. He's going to miss inside, and the next pitch into Holtz. Count is now 2-0. I think we'll be just fine with pitching as the season goes along.
I would agree with that. Is get these guys some experience in these non-conference games, and
yeah, just misses a bit inside, and the next pitch makes the count 3-0. Just a ball away from having bases loaded. Kevin Sauer waiting on deck.
Mason just a junior, I believe, right? I think so.
Yeah. That's a called strike. 3-1 the count to Mason Holtz. Yeah, the 2 seniors again, Conrad Davis and Hunter Camp.
Oh, yeah.
2 seniors on the team.
I forgot about Conrad. That was my bad when I mentioned that before, that Hunter was the one only playing.
3-1 pitch, and that is kind of hopped over towards the third base and goes underneath the glove of the third baseman. Just tried to get it on the short hop on the second bounce and goes right underneath his glove. And kind of hits the glove a little bit, and that brings another run in for Waupun.
Yeah, again, a lot of people aren't used to that artificial turf here. Now, obviously, Lomira would have a chance to practice on it if they'd let him do it on their football field. Don't know if they do or not. But, again, it's the hop. Typically, you just stay down on that one and you field it cleanly. But it was in between hops here. It kind of bounces like a rubber ball.
What was the official call on that? Is that an E?
I believe it's going to be an error.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, that's what I think I would have called it.
I'll make sure. Okay, we got official confirmation on that with the official scorekeeper up here.
That's the one that counts.
I'm just the announcer. You got to see what my book looks like when the game is done. It is nobody could even know what possibly happened in the game. It was terrible how I really don't know what I'm doing. It was just I'm here just to describe what's going on.
Well, you're excellent at that.
So we always have Randy up here. He's umpires baseball. He coached varsity basketball. So any more of the details that we make sure you explain that to me.
Right.
It's like, yeah, but like doing hockey with you, you know that inside and out. Called strike in the next pitch into Evan.
But you have seen a ton. And volleyball, I mean, it's great. You initially, like you've talked before, calling volleyball was never a thing.
Yeah, that wasn't a thing back when I was doing it. In the beginning, I just had called in some reports. I was a little afraid to do it back in about 1992. Runner goes on the pitch. Ball is popped in the air in just short left field. And that's going to get past the shortstop and land. Going to throw over to second base because they had to hold up over there and get the out over there. But that does score a run from third base. So another run comes in for the Warriors, now leading by a score of 5-0.
Hunter Camp comes in on that. Again, that's, I think, one of those wind balls that you're not used to really making that quite the adjustment, as it just kept carrying and carrying. Just out of reach.
Yeah, just put it up there and let the wind do its thing, and that's what it did. It did push it out deeper for him, and finally he's got to flop back. The shortstop, Lidke, did, and just couldn't get to it. And away Evan goes, and again, no throw over to second base. Strike on the first pitch into Jake Krieger. So 3 runs in, Waupun opens up a 5-0 lead against the Lomira Lions. A couple games in a row against the Flyway Conference. Didn't fare so well against Laconia yesterday, losing 12-8 in that ball game, but I was happy for Coach Greg Smith. Great guy over there, and the baseball coach there for a while.
Gave us a great interview, and the kids yesterday. Yeah. So just stick around with us, because you get to hear these how amazing these student athletes are, and the coaches do a great job.
And if we find somebody that is afraid to get interviewed, we work with them. And we had to do that during the season for a few of the athletes too. And they by the end of the season, they were like seasoned veterans doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Rowan Harder.
That was the top of the list. Her face would be bright red, and so we actually let her know the questions ahead of time. We brought her in and just kind of held her hand, and no, she did a great job. And when I interviewed her after that monster game she had for the sectional championship, it's down to the ground after strike 3, throwing to first to get the out, and Waupun does get 3 runs to cross the plate, and now lead this game 5-0 after 2 complete. And we'll be back with the top of the third inning in just 60 seconds here on Radio Plus.
Excellence in dentistry meets exceptional service. It's Dentistry of Wisconsin in Waupun and Beaver Dam. From routine cleanings, checkups, and maintenance to more advanced dental care and cosmetic services, choose Dentistry of Wisconsin. Doctors Metzger's, Truckenbrod, Dittman, and Warner, along with their friendly staff, are here to care for you. Visit their state-of-the-art facilities in Waupun and Beaver Dam, accepting new patients. Dentistry of Wisconsin. They'll give you a reason to smile both inside and out.
Let's spring into a new career with Saputo. Become part of a great company and team. Due to their continued growth, Saputo has full-time benefit-eligible maintenance and 12-hour shifts available in their Alto facility. Saputo offers entry-level pay starting at just under $23 per hour and operator's pay starting at over $26 an hour. Great benefits and shift pay. Log on saputo.com/careers. Spring into a new career at Saputo. Saputo is an equal opportunity employer.
Okay, back to the Gus and Waupun. Steve and Jeff here to bring you Waupun Warrior baseball. They scored 2 in the first, 3 in the second inning. Now open up a 5-0 lead. And of course, that escape act they did in the top of the second inning to keep Lomira off the board. They had bases loaded, and they had only 1 down, and they actually had to face with bases loaded with 2 down the top of the order and took care of business.
Yeah, they did. They did a nice job there.
So we'll be looking at number 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order. Talon Lidke, followed by Josh Stager and Brady Mann. So the bulk of their order right now, the meat of their order, coming up to bat for Lomira. I think we did get a couple Lomira sponsors too, didn't we, for the game?
I did not for this game that I saw.
Okay.
Now, it could have. I didn't get a chance to get through all of my emails. And,
okay.
I do not recall seeing one there. I do know we have Oakfield sponsors coming up and Randolph sponsors coming up for that Oakfield-Randolph game. So if there's somebody else from Lomira that's in there, hey, we're soliciting, no doubt about it.
Well, Nick Rush might be the most famous person to go to Lomira High School, at least for our area. His mom said he wanted to be a radio guy from little on. I don't know if he would hold a spoon and there's a microphone and.
Well, he does a dang good job because I
he's
got to
amazing.
call a couple of games over at Laconia with him, and I just learned a ton. And he jumped in and added a couple of hockey games with me as well, so I do appreciate it.
Sharply hit ball and a nice pickup by Hull over at third base. Fires across the field, just went down, smothered it, and brought it right into the glove. Perfect way to field that ball by Hull, and just textbook. Again, a guy brought up as a shortstop, learning how to be a third baseman, but looks like he definitely got it on that one. A nice throw across the field for the out.
Really nice play there by Emmett. Knowing how the field bounces, keeps himself in front of it, and then it was a great throw on top of it.
Josh Steger up the bat. He had a single earlier in the game. Yeah, radio for me was nothing that I was born to. I was a person afraid to go up in front of class to give a speech. There's a chopper over towards third base, and that's going to be foul. Yeah, I was just scared to death. I'd think about it for a week and wouldn't sleep if I had to go in front of class.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was my specialty either. Just something, again, well, most people have heard my story. I keep telling it over and over. I was not a good fan when I was watching my son play. And did a video game, or videotaped a couple of his games, and I couldn't figure out, I couldn't even watch it because there was this fool was yelling on there all the time. I guess that was me.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd put a microphone in my mouth, and I can't, it's all recorded, and you're not going to make those comments out there.
Yeah, mine was I was working just out of high school at a gas station over at a Holiday gas station in Waupun, and Gus Thompson, the namesake of this field, came in, the old superintendent. So it is going to miss. And he comes in and asks me, he says, what are you going to do now that you just graduated? I said, well, I'm not sure. I just had a guy that I knew that was going to broadcasting school in Wausau, and I said, well, I'm thinking maybe radio or something. I don't know why I told him that. Didn't know his wife worked at the radio station. She told George Baum, and he calls me that night. And next thing you know, I'm going down there learning how to be a radio guy.
Wow.
So that's how that was not in the plans. Even though I did listen to a lot of radio. I like tuning in the radio at night when you could pick up stations out of Pittsburgh and Nashville and stuff. Had a lot of interest. Chicago stations. Foul off the bat of Steger on the next pitch in, and ended up going to broadcasting school. And
you spent a little time up in Wausau, right?
Yeah, I did. I was on a TV station for a couple of years. I actually did a lot of TV commercials and up at Channel 7 in Wausau in the day when I was 19 and 20. And then they said, dude, you got a face for radio. You got to go over to the radio side of things. So they put me over on WIFC, a 100,000-watt rock station. I'm 20 years old, and worked out well. I met my wife on the request line over their accent. That's a true story, too. So this one is hit high in the air, out to a short center field, and Evan Sauer calling everybody off. Battled the win and everything else and made it look easy out there. And out on the pop-out by Josh Steger.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about, because that's where I started my teaching career, in that area over at Medford. So
yeah. I've been to Medford once, and that's when the Waupun football team took that trip up there 3 hours away.
Yeah.
Up there. And the coolest thing that they did when they were up there, when the team left after we got done beating Medford up there, and this has popped out over to second base off the bat of Mann, and a couple flyouts for him to the second baseman in the game. 3 up, 3 down. Great defensive inning there for the Waupun Warriors, and they take a 5-0 lead into the bottom of inning number 3. Back with that in just 60 seconds on Radio Plus.
This game is powered by C. Broxma Electric of Waupun. C. Broxma Electric has serviced the electrical needs for Waupun and the surrounding area for over 18 years. From small residential jobs to agricultural, industrial, and commercial jobs, they do it all. For quality work and prompt, courteous service, contact your State of Wisconsin licensed electrical contractor in our area. C. Broxma Electric at 920-319-1614 or check them out online at cbelectric.net. If you're looking for someone to take care of your tree needs, call Eli at Torres Tree Service of Waupun. He's been in the business for 10 years and started up Torres Tree Service 3 years ago. Eli and his team can remove trees big or small, even those hard to get to trees. They do tree trimming and stump grinding, and the job's not done until they put topsoil and seed where the tree was removed, clean up the debris, and haul it away. Join the many satisfied customers by calling Torres Tree Service in Waupun at 920-344-5887.
We are back in Waupun. Waupun leading now 5-0 going into the bottom of the third inning, and just finishing that Medford story when Waupun went out there and played football back in the mid-2000s. That The parents there had a little table, and the players all one by one went past the table, and they gave them something to drink and a bag lunch to take for a 3-hour trip back to Waupun. I thought that was a pretty classy thing. And being an independent school and no conference, I think they did that a lot, playing teams from quite a ways away. So that was kind of a nice tradition that they had at Bedford, and we thank them for doing that.
Now, remember Coach Applin asking me if I knew anything about that area. And at the time I told him, well, about halfway is going to be Stevens Point. And they ended up stopping at one of the parks right out there, right out past, there was a little pub and eatery out there with it's something about on the hill. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Chase Beam up to bat right now, but their trip back, okay.
Oh, on their trip up, on
trip
their way up,
okay.
yeah, because they got on the road a little bit earlier so that they could get a little bit of a stretch and get something to eat.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're looking at about 3.5-hour trip. That was before the interstate was there.
I was thinking of some of the other guys on that the football team. Jake Larson, of course, he was just a beast.
Which one? Yes, that's it. Yep, the Hilltop.
Next pitch is going to miss high and away into a Beam. Struck out back in the first inning. My wife's got some friends that she went to Marathon High School. She's from Marathon, just down the road from Wausau, and that's made many trips over there. The wife's class reunion just recently up in Marathon. And the next one misses, so Beam has issued a walk to start things out. So Waupun has put the leadoff runner on base all 3 innings so far and has scored that person all 3 innings. So Beam over at first base. That brings up Ethan Cunningham, the right fielder. Grounded out to shortstop, his last at-bat. One's popped high in the air to short center field. Shortstop again giving chase, and that is hauled in by the shortstop, Jack Lidke. Straight behind second base, about 15-20 feet out past the infield dirt for the first out.
That was a nice play there again by Lidke, taking off and getting after it. The wind was blowing it deep again. Center fielder was there and kind of had one of those mistakes before. This time they executed perfectly.
Yeah, you learn after that first one where he kind of didn't play the wind as well and got eaten up by it. That time he just aggressively went at it, like you said, and got to the spot. Took care of business. Just one car out in the cheap seats out there watching the game right now.
Hope they got it on the radio station.
Yeah, if you get on the radio, you can wave, and we can see it right in the windshield there out in the right field if you're listening to the game. That one's popped in the air off the bat of Bryant Ferris. And again, almost like, is that the same play? Is that a replay?
I think it was the instant
Showed a
replay button.
replay of both of those. It looks like you hit the replay button, but actually on the field in the same exact play with the shortstop, Chad Lidke, going in, getting that high pop up to short center field. So 2 pop-outs in a row out to the shortstop and center field, and runner still at first base. Conrad Davis up to bat, had that single and scored back in the second. 5-0 Waupun on your new medical integrated healthcare scoreboard. Once again bobbled by the catcher, and no throw again to second base, and that'll bring Chase Beam over to second. Steve Lenz is watching right now and tuned in. And
no.
Is it Iverson Park? Is that the name of it?
Yeah, that is the park we went to. Yep. Yeah.
Iverson
Stevens
Park.
Point. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve, for that.
It's good having Steve. I mean, he was really instrumental in continuing the programs here and did a great job, and one of the first gentlemen that I met when I came here. And
yeah, I always love Steve with his sons going through, and son Jack and all the traveling that we did. I always like to mess with him a little bit with my texting, and that dang autocorrect that just send wrong things over to him all the time. But he had fun with it and just shot it right back at me. But we had a good time. It was a fun. We'd hang out after the games on those Legion trips that we took, and all of a sudden he said he's going to go get his coat, and that's the last you saw of him. I'm going to go get my coat. I'll be right back out, and that's the last you'd see of him. What a good guy. Thanks for the answer on that one, Steve. Wasn't a trivia question. You don't win anything for it. So.
Just great to have him still following along. Again, Jack mentioned, right, that's when Caleb graduated with Jack. And
that was a special bunch.
That was a great group of kids, yeah.
3-1 pitch. That's going to be low and away from Conrad. And you put some more speed, as we said before, with him on the bases. Issued a walk, the second walk of the inning. 2 runners on, and No hits for Waupun, but a couple of walks with 2 down, and that will bring up Hunter Camp to the plate. Had a single, RBI single, and also scored back in the second inning.
Yeah, let's see if Hunter can come through one more time for the Warriors.
That's going to miss outside on the pitch by Poth. Again, if you want to check in with us, make sure you hit the chat line and say hi. And even if you're a Lomira person, make sure you let us know and put out a little shout-out to your team out there. And like Jeff said, the players, they do go back and watch us, and they love to see the comments that people make. One bounces across the plate to put the count at 2-0.
That was a nice stop there by Zengel. A couple of other times that's happened to him, and he's lost it into his feet, but this time he was able to start picking up a little bit of that bounce now and kept his chest squared down to the ground, 90 degrees there, and put it right down in front of him.
2-0 the count now to Hunter Camp. It's going to miss well outside, makes it a 3-0 count in the top of the order with Emmett Hull awaiting on deck. I tell you, I had some fun little trips, and I know you did too, with following that Legion team. Man, that was just felt like a family out there. We just had a blast, and the success that they had, amazing bunch of young men that played. It was fun. We're going to call that one high in the strike zone. A strike. Makes the count 3-1. Some really great memories, and all the way to that trip that we took out to Waupun, North Dakota.
And the orangutan.
I
hope I didn't steal a story there.
No,
Steve.
I was. I can't even think of the name of it right now. I always knew the name, and I can't think of that right now. The orangutan. That was the highlight. That I think the biggest memory when people think back to that, as far as what I was concerned with the whole thing. But that was a good time.
Maybe Steve will remember that name.
Yeah, Steve, you remember the name of the orangutan. Well, the coach heading out to talk to his pitcher, and that will be it. We have a pitching change. Waupun leading by a score of 5-0. And we'll come back after this pitching change here in the bottom of the third inning. Waupun Warrior Baseball on Radio Plus.
Andy with us here at the Other Bar Main Street in downtown Waupun. The weather's turning, Andy. It's baseball weather, your favorite, right? Here we go.
Absolutely. The Brewers are on. It's my time of year. The kids are playing well, rolling right along. You can guarantee we've always got the Brewer games going every time they're playing.
Some of the tap lines are always changing, Andy. Some of the seasonal stuff. Talk about that for us.
We're starting to transition over some of the darker stuff and into some of the lighter stuff for summer. We've got a sour on tap right now, and you can definitely find our featured beer from Three Sheeps called the Other Bar Pills. That one we got rolling. That's a mainstay. You'll have to chop in and check out what we got. We got 16 different tap lines going, and constantly rolling barrels over, and Steve and I are making things interesting as we go.
11 o'clock is when you open daily, in and out for lunch, too.
We've always got something going on at the special board. You'll have to stop in and see what Tierney's rolling out of the kitchen for that day. We always have hot beef, hot pork, and hot turkey with mashed potatoes and gravy. That's pretty much a mainstay, but Tierney is always rolling something out every day.
Andy, have a great week. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
The Other Bar, Main Street, downtown Waupun.
HomeandAuto.com. Check out our selection of over 400 new and used vehicles. HomeandAuto.com. Every vehicle from all 4 of our locations in one convenient place. Find your perfect car without leaving home at HomeandAuto.com. New vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and Ford. Pre-owned from $39.82 and certified pre-owned. Plus the warranties and hometown service you can depend on. Make the Home and Family your first stop at HomeandAuto.com. We make you feel at home at Homan.
Okay, we are back, and we have Talon Litke coming in to pitch, a right-handed pitcher for the Lions. And like they said, they're going to have to throw probably a lot of different pitchers out there, and that's second pitcher of the ball game now. Getting in a little trouble now with Waupun with bases loaded, 2 down. Of course, that brings the top of the order up with Emmett Hull up to bat. He has walked. He has struck out so far in the game.
Earning that leadoff spot as he's continued working his way into the various games the Warriors have had.
This pitch is going to miss low. 1-1 the count now to Emmett.
Just a freshman, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's your leadoff spot.
Yeah, that means a bright future for Waupun. That one off the end of the bat on the swing, fouls it back. He's a count 1-2. no pressure on a freshman at all, putting him over at the hot corner and also putting him in the top of the order for batting.
With bases loaded and a new pitcher.
Yeah. 1-2 the count for Emmett. Pond leading 5-0, trying to add to that right now. That's going to miss low and away. Puts the count at 2-2.
Good eye there by Emmett. Not chasing, being patient at the plate.
Here's the 2-2 pitch from Lidke. Yeah, that one goes towards the shortstop, picked up by Polth over there.
He beat it out.
He beat it out over at first base, and then trying to score another run of the Warriors, and they throw him out at home plate on the play with Conrad Davis sliding in, but Waupun does score another run. Nice job by Emmett hustling up that first base line and getting himself safe over there, but a run does come in on that. Waupun leading 6-0 after 3 complete. Be back in 60 seconds with the top of inning number 4 from Waupun's Gus Field right after this on Radio Plus.
Are you missing out on life? Does chronic joint pain prevent you from doing the things you love? I get it. All you think about is pain. This is Dr. Randy Blahoviak with New Medical Center. We have the solution to your problem. If you suffer from debilitating and chronic joint pain, learn how innovative medicine with human cellular tissue products can get you back to living your best life. Call New Medical Center for an alternative approach with innovative medicine at 920-249-8757.
Did you know that Ergo Bank of Marquezan and Fox Lake offers Casasa Rewards checking accounts? All Casasa Rewards accounts include refunds on ATM withdrawal fees. When you meet the monthly qualification criteria, there's no monthly maintenance fee and no minimum balance requirement. Best of all, you get rewarded for things you probably do anyway, such as using your debit card and setting up a direct deposit. Discover the benefits of opening a Casasa Rewards checking account at Ergo Bank of Marquezan and Fox Lake.
Okay, we are back at the Gus in Waupun. Again, Steve coming through for us, and he wanted us to know, and now it does ring a bell, my great friend up in Wahpeton, North Dakota, and that is Tal the orangutan.
Tal, your pal. The
yeah, Tal, my pal. Yep, his full name is Talican. And again, the big joke with the whole thing, and it's true, they did have a thing when they bragged it up in the literature for the zoo was the only orangutan in captivity in the state of North Dakota. And I said, does that mean there's a bunch of them running around loose out here? I mean, what's going on here in North Dakota? A lot of room to... But again, thanks, Steve, for that was a great memory, again, going up there. But the one thing is I did not go to the zoo to meet Tal. That was...
Yeah.
I dropped the ball on that. Too much socializing back at the hotel.
Well, the team had a great run again there.
So that will bring up Connor Steers to start things out here in the top of the 4th inning. A called strike in the first pitch into him. He had a single. He was the guy that was standing at third base trying to score that first run for Lomira back in the 2nd inning, and he gets hit by a pitch on the next pitch in and heads up the first base line.
Coming to the plate, number 22, Easton Zangle.
Easton Zangle up now, the catcher for the Lions.
Again, Mason's strategy, he does a nice job with it. He starts it outside and brings it back to the inside. That time it just came a little bit too inside.
First pitch into Zangle. Our next pitch into him is going to miss high and away. Makes the count 2-0. Lomira definitely getting a few base runners here and there. Dropped the ball on having bases loaded and only one down. Couldn't get one of those runs across the plate. Nice job by Waupun shutting him down. Stop that from happening. 6-0 lead now for Waupun on your new medical integrated healthcare scoreboard, bringing you the game from the National Exchange Bank and Trust broadcast booth. No better place to call right here behind home plate. Great vantage point to call a game from. That one's fouled back into the screen.
Yep, comfortable up here right now.
Yeah, we don't have the air conditioning and the heating, of course, that you have at the other side of Lincoln Street, but don't need it today. Nice little breeze coming through, comfortable. 1-2 the count on Zangle. Fouls another one off to stay alive.
Nice job there. Pulled the string on that. Breaking ball just broke right there at the plate. Zengel swinging over the top of it.
See, the Brewers had to face Josh Hader yesterday in the ninth inning of that ball game down in San Diego. They won 4-3 in the 10th, but shut the Brewers down. This is a little chopper up the first base slide, picked up in play just as the runner was coming up to Jake Krieger, and he tags him as he goes by. But that does advance the runner over to second base. It's kind of just hovering right on the line there, and finally Jake said, can't wait any longer. You got to grab it and tag him, so he did.
Made the decision, executed. Lomira has a runner in second at second base now, scoring position.
There's a chopper. That's going to go underneath the glove. Tough one on that second hop. Just kind of stayed down below the glove of Evan Sauer. And runners at the corners. So again, Lomira is threatening to get on the board here in the top of the fourth inning, trailing 6-0. Those are nasty, those high choppers like that. And you don't know what that second one's going to do. I don't know if he was going to try to get it before it hit the ground on that second hop or not, but again, those are tough ones. Big swing and a miss by Matt Shelvin, the DH, and the first pitch he sees this inning from Bonds Mason Holtz.
Remember listening to Coach Stanky talk to the boys about that? When you're playing here, charge. Got him.
They got the runner between first and second, a little run down, see if they can get that out. So we'll keep an eye on the runner at third base. And the runner decides to go. Here's the play at the plate, and he is out. Nice job. A nice tag applied by the Warriors. And Hunter Camp, as the runner was going by, Connor Steers. And Camp just goes and swipes that glove hard on the back of Steers and gets him before he touches the plate. And that will bring the coach up the third base line to talk to the home plate umpire and showing the plate and how exactly it happened and his view of what he saw.
Yeah, I think that's what their argument is because is the blocking the plate. And I think that their interpretation is if you're standing up, I don't think it is. That falls into the rules. I guess we'll have to ask Randy. He's out there, right? And
he said we should mic him, and we did. We could have did that.
Oh, I do have a portable mic for that, too, so we'll have to do that the next time.
Yeah, just in case, because they do have those officials that they have on during the national football games and stuff. And go to our rules expert, Randy Armia. Maybe he could have explained that to us, but I'm sure that's what he was arguing.
That would be an interesting setup. Now you got me thinking here. I'm going to try and run another thing out there on the field.
So Shelvin again still up to bat. That one misses by Holtz, not by much. Makes the count 2-1. Runner at second base. They got that out at home plate. Good job upon just keeping Lomira off the board, just barely on that play at the plate. Next one catches the outside part of the plate. No offer from Shelvin. Puts the count at 2-2. Shelvin got on with a walk back in the second inning. And punches him out with a beautiful pitch over the outside part of the plate away from the right-handed to hitting Matt Shelvin. He goes down, striking out, looking. And Waupun again dodges the bullet, keeps the Lions off the board, now leads 6-0 going into the bottom of the fourth inning. Back in 60 seconds with the bottom of the fourth here on Radio Plus.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Wisconsin.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
A reminder for everyone that Ben's Automotive is open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. and on Saturdays by appointment only. Keeping your vehicle in tip-top running condition is essential. Call 324-9962 for Ben's Automotive. Get the quality repair and maintenance services you need from the automotive technicians you can trust. Ben's Automotive at the corner of Carrington and Main Streets in beautiful downtown Waupun. Call 920-324-9962 to schedule your service or repair needs today.
Okay, we are back at Waupun at the Gus. Again, Waupun dodging the bullet on another run. Got a play at the plate. A great tag applied by Hunter Camp. A perfect throw over there, and he swipes the runner before he touches home plate. And Waupun keeping a goose egg on the board for Lomira through 4. And coming up for Waupun in the bottom of the 4th inning, Mason Holtz, Evan Sauer, and Jake Krieger, number 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order. Sure if we got some new players maybe possibly out there that I didn't catch. See the coach right now talking to the home plate umpire and writing things down. So
Setting up 21 is over at first. I think that's a new player, right?
21. Is that Brad Woyan? Is that what we got with him? Brad Woyan? That's what I have on the the roster that I got from the internet. But I don't know. And I did check that name with them, and they said this. So it's definitely a name of one of the players there. But what I had down is number 21, Brad Woyan. We'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll check and see. They will have that change usually right here, don't they? Have it on Game Changer as well. Yeah, so Coach Spanbauer in there, he's running the Game Changer for us, so he'll get that stuff all entered electronically, and we'll be able to pick that up here.
It's amazing, the technology, and keep up with up-to-date stats.
Mm-hmm.
Fairly up-to-date stats with the game from that.
No more quick punching on the calculator and all that type of stuff. And
it helps you see the coaches don't have to go back and try to enter all this stuff. Now they got it going. It goes right into the program there, and people can look it up. Mason Holtz again, number 2 in the batting order, swings at the first pitch and is going to pull it, bounce it foul up the first base line for strike 1. Third at bat for Mason, lined out to the pitcher, got on with an error at third base back in the 2nd inning. Yeah, nice pitch away from the left-handed hitting Holtz on the outside part of the plate. A called strike, no offer for Mason. Count is now 0-2. Next pitch from Lidke, well inside, scooting out of the way is Holtz. Yeah, we lost our viewer out there in right field, so I'm not sure what the business owner thinks about the cars out there. I know for a while they were kind of putting trucks in the way, and just the stock, it is his area there. So
yeah.
But we had times where we had 9, 10, 11 cars sitting out there, all packed. It was nice on the games when it was about 30 degrees out here, sitting in your nice warm car, and they could listen to it on the radio, which...
Yeah, it was. Liability stuff these days.
Yeah. 2-2 pitch. That's going to miss a bit low. Makes it a 3-2 count. So Mason Holtz making Talon Lidke work for this out.
Called strike.
Goes down. A called strike 3. And Mason will go back. Maybe not quite agreeing with that, but he goes down looking. And that'll bring Evan Sauer to the plate. 2 for 2 in the game. He has scored a run so far. So 1 down, nobody out. First time Waupun did not get their leadoff batter on the base paths. One the count. Evan Sauer. Those pitchers are doing a great job from both teams, just painting those outside parts of the plate. Pretty impressive.
Yeah. Keeping the hitters off balance.
It was the 1-1 pitch. Big swing there by Sauer, but way ahead of it, and shoots it back towards and into the dugout of Lomira. Got to be on your toes over there. Thought of that too when I go eat in the concession stand there. When you get a left-handed hitter up there, you better have your heads toward, because when they slice those off over in that direction, I've seen them go in there and go like a pinball. There, that could be a dangerous area. Hard hit ball out towards left field, and that is hauled in by Turner Wagner, the left fielder. Nice hard hit ball, but right at Turner Wagner. And so 2 up and 2 down.
Missed clicking the button at that time, so I apologize out there to the viewers.
That'll bring up Jake Krieger. Got on with a walk back in the first inning, struck out in the second inning. His third at bat of the ball game. Working the inside part of the plate. A called strike to Jake on the first pitch into him. The 1 pitch. And works the outside part of the plate. Just working the plate right now is Talon Lidke. The called strike. Jake now down on the count, 0-2. And pitcher Lidke shaking off a few signals from his catcher, and then he caught a bit of it on that one on a swing and just catches enough of it, and foul ball stays alive at 0-2. Waupun has scored every inning so far, 2 in the first, 3 in the second, and 1 in the third inning. And that one's going to miss just off the plate.
Catcher did a nice job of framing that.
Trying to bring her back in, but still ball nonetheless. 1-2 the count. It's going to be too far inside, and almost brushing the sleeve of the jersey of Jake Krieger, but just couldn't quite get it to lean into it enough to catch it a little bit. 2-2 the count. Some people are masters at doing that. 2-2 pitch from Lidke. That's going to miss a little low, maybe a bit outside. Makes it now a 3-2 count, so a good job, Jake, working himself back into a full count after he's down 0-2 in the count.
Same situation that Mason Holtz was. Down 0-2, gets it to a 3-2. Mason went down looking. See what Jake does up here on this pitch.
Comes the full count pitch. And a swing and a miss by Jake, and a couple strikeouts for Talon Lidke. Nobody reaches, nobody scores. 1-2-3 inning. First time that Lomira has done that to Waupun in the ball game after 4 complete. 6-0 now in favor of Waupun over the Lomira Lions. Come back with the top of the 5th inning in just 60 seconds on Radio Plus.
If you're looking for someone to take care of your tree needs, call Eli at Torres Tree Service of Waupun. He's been in the business for 10 years and started up Torres Tree Service 3 years ago. Eli and his team can remove trees big or small, even those hard-to-get-to trees. They do tree trimming and stump grinding, and the job's not done until they put topsoil and seed where the tree was removed, clean up the debris, and haul it away. Join the many satisfied customers by calling Torres Tree Service in Waupun at 920-344-5887. The Hour Bar on Main Street, Waupun is a great place to meet friends. Owners Bob and Tana invite you to join them for their daily specials and great atmosphere. They also bring in top-notch entertainment and host many special events. The Hour Bar is also the perfect place to cheer on the Packers, Bucks, Brewers, and Badgers. There's TVs everywhere you look. After today's game, head to the Hour Bar, 433 East Main Street, Waupun, a proud supporter of high school sports.
We are back with Waupun holding on to that 6-0 lead. Our game being powered by Seabroxma Electric of Waupun. Take care of all your electrical needs, whether it's your home, your business, out at the farm. Give Chris a call at Seabroxma Electric in Waupun, proud sponsor of high school sports. Top of the 5th inning now for Lomira. First batter up, a swing and a miss from Jack Lidke.
Coming in to hit for Colton Michaels.
Yeah, the number 9 slot. Another strike call and the next pitch in. Quickly down to the count, 0-2. Top of the order awaiting on deck.
Mason being pretty efficient on the mound.
This pitch is going to miss just a bit low. Count is 1-2. Oh, nice little pitch. Took a little off that one, and a swing and a miss on the last pitch in. Out on strikes is Jack Lidke. And that'll bring top of the order Turner Wagner up to bat. The Talon Lidke awaiting on deck.
Back to the top of the order here for Lomira.
Any big plans for the weekend? I have nothing planned for the weekend. Of course, I have no plans. It's whatever the wife's plans are. That'll be my plans. But no work,
right.
No games to do, no shopping spree to do, no show to do.
Are you still doing the show over in Mayville?
Mm-hmm.
That morning show?
No, I do the 2 to 7
Oh,
shift.
that's right.
I do and fill in when I'm done. When I'm not doing a game.
I thought you were retired.
No. At least I'm doing something I want to do now. So that does help.
Yeah. No, and you do a good job over there with that type of stuff, too.
I like that. I enjoy working over at the Great 98, doing stuff over there. We do the morning show for Waupun for a few hours each morning, making the trip over to Fond du Lac. So to miss outside, and Turner Wagner, he is issued a walk.
Now up number 20, Talon Lidke.
I think the only plan I've got is swing over to Randolph tomorrow, hopefully before the rain. Maybe put a little fertilizer down on the lawn. Stop the weeds to come in early enough. And then Sunday we're going to celebrate some Easter in Manitowoc.
Oh, okay. Family up there?
Yeah, my wife's family is up there.
Talon Lidke up to bat now. Strike one in the first pitch in him with a runner at first. Nice pitch. A swing and a miss on the next pitch in to Lidke. Makes the count quickly 0-2. And you were a Ripon guy, right?
I was.
Yeah. And a swing, nice bunch of pitches, sequence of pitches there by Mason Holtzen. Just a little off-speed stuff on there, dropped out of the strike zone. A swing and a miss over the top of that by Lidke. He goes down swinging. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Runner at first base yet. 2 down. Josh Stagger up to bat. Stagger so far that single back in the first inning and flew out to center field.
Yeah, Waupun Ripon recently obviously has been big rivalries, but Ripon's been down in their athletics. It's a dramatic drop-off.
Yeah, they had some years there where they had some football teams that I don't know if they actually won state when they got there.
They did win state once, yeah.
Yeah, and baseball, they've had some great baseball teams, some great basketball teams that have made it to state. They've had some really good teams. This is a hard hit ball that's going to shoot off from Hull, trying to backhand that one, shoots off his glove and toward the warning track area along the left field side and brought back in. But runners now at second and third base. Tough chance there for Emmett Hull over at third base. Now runners at second and third with 2 down for the Lomira Lions. Again, threatening here in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, that hot corner over there, Emmett. I couldn't really see what was happening there. I got right there's that post, but Hunter Camp and Mason Holtz having a conversation. Two down here, and
probably says do what you did to the batter 2 batters ago. Yeah. Those 3 pitches in that order.
Yeah, I think that's how that conversation goes. Well, you were right. Started him off with a breaking ball.
Called strike, no offer from Brady Mann. He struggled a couple pop-outs over to second base so far in the ball game. Clean-up batter in the batting order for the Lions. And that is put out towards left field, and Lomira is on the board. They're going to try to score 2. Relay in, they throw it home, and 2 runs do come in. A 2-run single for Brady Mann.
Again, a nice base shot. Right outside of the reach, Evan Sauer diving for it, just missed it.
Okay, so Lomira on the board. Getting stuff done here with 2 down. That'll bring up Connor Steers. He had a single back in the second inning, got all the way to third base. Also was hit by a pitch, so he's been on base a couple times in the game. Definitely respecting the throwing ability of Hunter Camp behind home plate. Haven't really seen him try to challenge him at all, so they must have did their homework and saw that he threw somebody out, I believe, yesterday in that game against Laconia.
He did.
Chopper over on the third base side, but foul.
It helps with Mason Holtz also being a lefty on the mound with facing him, and Mason has a pretty good move over to first.
Yeah, and you got a guy that can definitely catch you off the base paths, what they have done already in the ball game and got that out at home plate eventually. Oh, perfect pinpoint accuracy on that one on the outside part of the plate. Makes the count 2-2. 2-2 count, 2 down. Here's the pitch from Holtz. Comes high and tight on him. A swing and a miss by Steers. He strikes out, but not before the damage is done. A 2-run single off the bat of Brady Mann puts Lomira on the board. Waupun leading 6-2 heading into the bottom of the fifth, back in just 60 seconds with more Waupun Warrior Baseball on Radio Plus.
Let's spring into a new career with Saputo. Become part of a great company and team. Due to their continued growth, Saputo has full-time benefit-eligible maintenance and 12-hour shifts available in their Alto facility. Saputo offers entry-level pay starting at just under $23 per hour and operator's pay starting at over $26 an hour. Great benefits and shift pay. Log on saputo.com/careers. Spring into a new career at Saputo. Saputo is an equal opportunity employer.
This game is powered by C. Broxma Electric of Waupun. C. Broxma Electric has serviced the electrical needs for Waupun and the surrounding area for over 18 years. From small residential jobs to agricultural, industrial, and commercial jobs, they do it all. For quality work and prompt, courteous service, contact your State of Wisconsin licensed electrical contractor in our area. C. Broxma Electric at 920-319-1614 or check them out online at cbelectric.net.
We are back at the Gus in Waupun. Steve Witterhack along with Jeff Sauer. Ready to bring you the call here for the bottom half of inning number 5. Waupun does give up a couple runs for the Lomira Lions in the top of the 5th inning. And now lead by a score of 6-2. Still on the mound for the Lions is Talon Lidke. And coming up for Waupun this inning, Chase Beam, Ethan Cunningham, and Bryant Ferris. Beam 0 for 2, or I should say 0 for 1 in the ball game. Also walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Struck out in the 1st. This pitch in well low for ball 1. Yeah, again, blessed to have these great days that we've had this week with calling some games. And we're going to get challenged a little bit next week, so we'll see what happens with that weather. Could be some rain. It's definitely going to be colder starting Sunday already.
Yep, that's kind of the weather forecast I've seen.
Looks like we might be all right tomorrow morning, maybe into the afternoon if we're lucky, and after that, things could go south. This is hit up the middle, and a leadoff base hit for Chase Beam. Easy stroke right up the middle over the second base.
Didn't try to do too much with that pitch. Kind of caught it off at the end, but exactly right up the middle where nobody's at. Just hard enough that I think it actually bounced right behind second base, and Chase is on at first. And I think, as you mentioned before, this is so only last inning was the first inning that the Warriors didn't have that leadoff runner on.
Ethan Cunningham showing a bunt. Tries to get it past the pitcher. Good job of fielding it by Lidke, but it's still a nice bunt attempt by Ethan Cunningham. Does his job and moves the runner over to second base. Tried to put a little bit more on it just so he could maybe get it past that pitcher, but he did a good job jumping off and getting in front of it before it got by. But you're asked just to get that guy over to second base, and that's exactly what Ethan did. So 1 down, runner at second, and Bryant Ferris up to bat. Been hit by a pitch and scored. He's also flown out. One of those carbon copy flyouts to the shortstop out in short center field. He was the second one of those.
Little confusion there with the runner at second and the signs to Talon Lidke. Smart move there, stepping off and has the catcher come out and they have a conversation. Really decent, smart heads-up play there by Talon for Lomira.
That one stays high for a ball. Waupun just up by 4 now, 6-2. Don't want to get complacent. Of course, you have Mason out there. What is he doing pitch count-wise?
86.
86, okay.
Great job on the
And that one hit right above the shortstop. And Beam's going to get held up over at third base. So, and that's going to get, the throw in gets past the cutoff in the infield, but they do chase it down, and that does allow the runner to get over to second base. Runner's now at second and third base.
At the plate, number 11, Conrad.
So a couple singles for Waupun. Runner's now at second and third base, and Conrad Davis coming up to bat. Had a single and has also walked in the game. He's been on base both at bats so far. Nice to get a little base hit right now, bring a couple in for Waupun.
back-to-back seniors coming up to bat in Conrad, and then Hunter Camp on deck.
Ooh, a big cut there by Conrad, but a swing and a miss for strike one. Yeah, decent little crowd here watching the game. Some people with sweaters on, the wind making it maybe just a little bit cooler out there, but it's pretty hot earlier today. Showing bunt, brings the bat back, called strike. Count is now 0-2. Did get in a little trouble today. I found out that I knew what they had maybe before this, but the wife's air conditioner went out on the car.
Oh.
And I took the car with the air conditioning to work this morning. So, and she had to go down to Madison today, so I definitely heard about that. Fix that situation. It's the other part of the honey-do list I didn't see. Don't take your car. Leave that back.
Yeah, she had the longer drive today.
Oh, yeah.
Good piece of hitting right here so far for Conrad. Knocking that last one, just getting a little piece of it. Keep himself alive. Yep.
0-2 count again to Conrad. He sets and fires and swings, and that one chopped down into his, looks like his left ankle in that area. It's usually sting just a little bit. See, a lot of guys will wear a little guard down there to try to prevent that exact place. But he's fine. Tough kid. If you want to let us know you're out there, make sure to hit the chat and a little something nice about the Waupun Warrior team or the Lomira Lions if you're watching from in that direction. Great facilities. We've had a lot of chances to call games over in that beautiful gym and the great football field they have there too. Unbelievable facilities. A great job, Lomira, on really, some places they were lacking. Some of the facilities, their classrooms, they improved on that. That gym is just amazing, and that football field with that great terrace area, just a great place to play football over there and watch a game. Comes the 1-2 pitch. That's also going to miss high. Of course, we got some big games that we called there. We called that sectional semifinal game a couple seasons ago, Waupun taking on Kewaskum girls basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Waupun trailing almost the entire game and pulled it out at the end. That was just an amazing place and a great place to call the game from. That fit everybody in there nice and snug. Great atmosphere. But jammed him on that one. That's popped up into the grass in the infield.
Nope.
And the shortstop tried to come and field the ball. Was that the pitcher over there? That was the shortstop.
It gave way to the shortstop who came flying all the way across. Surprisingly, I thought the second baseman had a better shot at that.
Yes.
Now bases are loaded here for the Warriors.
Yeah, so quite the effort there by the shortstop. You don't normally see them covering that play. I thought it was the second baseman's going to come in, but I would not have gotten in the way of Josh Stager and his full blast run over in that direction. He almost got to it, but couldn't haul it in. So now bases are loaded for Waupun. Everybody had to hold their spots because didn't know if they're going to catch it or not. It'll pop up in the infield. That'll bring up Hunter Camp. One out on the board. Bases loaded for Waupun. Trying to respond to those 2 runs that Lomira had in the top of the inning.
Hunter's been on both times at bat. Single in the second. I didn't write down where it was in the third.
Yeah, walked in the third inning. Big swing and a miss on the next pitch in. Puts the count at 0-2. They didn't retire. He wasn't retired yesterday either. 3 for 3 at his at bats in that ball game yesterday. 2 doubles and a single. And I believe he also crossed home plate every time.
Yeah, he's done a great job at the plate the last 2 games here.
0-2 pitch. That's going to be down in the dirt. You pass the catcher, and that will allow Beam to score. Runners all advance 1 base. Another run scores for Waupun, now leading 7-2. Down on the plate and getting past the catcher's angle all the way back to the backstop. So a good thing for Lomira, bases aren't loaded anymore. There's a place to put somebody if you had to. 1 down.
And then you have to go to the top of the order and face Emmett Hall, so that was a great
that one
pitch.
is a nice pitch, just kind of high and tight in there in the strike zone, and no offer from Hunter on that one. He goes down looking. First time he's been retired these last 2 days. And now 2 down, or I should say, 2 down, and that will bring up Emmett Hull up to bat with Mason Holtz on deck. It's been on base a couple times, a single and a walk so far in the game. Also a strikeout victim back in the second inning. Good opportunity for Waupun to see if they can get a couple more runs in, but top of the order up.
Try and get those 2 runs back that they gave up. Got one of them back. Let's see if they can get another one here with runners at second and third.
Here we go, Litke again, not going with the Major League time clock on this at all, and stepping out and stepping back is Emmett. He's going to wait just a little bit too long, so we'll make him wait a little longer.
Good heads-up play. Again, freshman really baseball savvy right there.
Their 0-2 pitch for Talon Lidke. And that is sharply hit and picked up by the shortstop, and then he bobbles it over there, ranging off to his left to get it. Good job getting to the ball. But that brings another run in for Waupun, now leading 8-2.
I know that's going to go down as an error to the shortstop, but that ball was hit hard, and it got on top of Steger quickly. And then you had Emmett flying down the line. So great piece of hitting there by Emmett. Got that run in over at third and advanced Conrad Davis over to third.
Yeah, runners at the corners now for the Warriors. And you're another problem for Lomira. You got to face their number 2 batter in the lineup, and that's Mason Holtz. Still looking for his first hit. Lined out, he's struck out, he's got on with an error. Throw to first base, not in time.
Throw over to first to try and pick off Emmett, who obviously they're thinking the same we are. At least I am. He's going to try and take off.
Yeah, why not get aggressive right now? You got a decent lead, and keep him over there for now. Next pitch is going to miss inside to the left-handed hitting Mason Holtz. Yeah, Mason almost reaching his pitch count. We'll see how much longer he lasts in the ball game. We should see him coming up here unless they decide to move on with that, but I'm not sure. Runner goes. There goes Hull. Throw over to second base. He is not in time, but not. Then he's out and coming off the base. Over there was Emma, kind of stood there and lost his balance and came down, had his glove on him the whole time. And his foot came off the base and tagged out at second. But Waupun does come up with a couple runs and lead back up to 6 again, leading 8-2 after 5 complete. Back to the top of the 6th inning coming up in just 60 seconds on Radio Plus.
Hi, this is Bucky with All Phase Heating, Cooling, and Geothermal. Wisconsin weather, it goes through the phases, like us. Whether you need a repair to your current system or an upgrade to a brand new one, we have you covered in all seasons and all phases. Ask about our Guardian maintenance plans to help keep your units running efficiently and reliably all year through. call 920-763-2301. That's 920-763-2301. Log on allphasecomforts.com.
Andy with us here at the Other Bar Main Street in downtown Waupun. The weather's turning, Andy. It's baseball weather, your favorite, right? Here we go.
Absolutely. The Brewers are on. It's my time of year. The kids are playing well, rolling right along. You can guarantee we've always got the Brewer games going every time they're playing.
Some of the tap lines are always changing, Andy. Some of the seasonal stuff. Talk about that for us.
We're starting to transition over some of the darker stuff and into some of the lighter stuff for summer. We've got a sour on tap right now, and you can definitely find our featured beer from Three Sheeps called the Other Bar Pills. That one we got rolling. That's a mainstay. You'll have to chop in and check out what we got. We got 16 different tap lines going and constantly rolling barrels over, and Steve and I are making things interesting as we go.
11 o'clock is when you open daily, in and out for lunch too.
We've always got something going on the special board. You'll have to stop in and see what Tierney's rolling out of the kitchen for that day. We always have hot beef, hot pork, and hot turkey with mashed potatoes and gravy. That's pretty much a mainstay, but Tierney is always rolling something out every day.
Andy, have a great week. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
The Other Bar, Main Street, downtown Waupun.
Okay, we are back for the top of inning number 6. New pitcher. Great pitching today by Mason Holtz. I don't know if we'll get some numbers on him. But we also have another freshman coming out now on the mound, Chase Beam, 1-0 on the season. He's pitched 3 2/3 innings so far. He's got a 0.00 ERA on the season.
So Mason Holtz, 86 pitches, 67.4% strike percentage. That's 58 pitches that were strikes out of that 86. So a nice job there by Mason Holtz. First pitch strikes, I love that they put that up there. 16 out of the 23 batters he faced that first pitch strike.
Yeah, the freshman on the mound, you just look at him, body-wise, and you look at the stature of him out there, does not look like a freshman on the mound, but pretty solid kid, and going to give 4 good years here to the Waupun Warriors.
Well, solid genes out there. His brother Braden plays in USHL for hockey. Oh, that's hard to hit. That's
ball out to left. Conrad Davis got a good job backpedaling and getting it just before the track out in left field. Nice job by Conrad Davis with a catch out in left field. Great jump on the ball. Made it look easy out there.
Yeah, you did. I thought the wind was going to.
Let's see.
21 is
That's
Woljan.
Brad Woljan.
Brad Woljan.
Now up, number 21, Brad Woljan.
Then I always I want to stay quiet for a while to hear if we hear anybody in the crowd yell, "That's not Brad Woljan." That's what I had written. They have on the internet on with sports that I wrote it down. So, big dude out there, left-handed hitter. He's coming to play first base. I did have him written in. Yeah, you mentioned that before, that he was in for Poth.
Yep.
In that spot. So 1 down. First at bat for Brad Woljan, and he goes opposite field. They're opposite in, right in front of Conrad Davis in left field. Nice at bat there for Brad, making the most of his first at bat of the ball game. So runner at first base, and that will bring up Braden Herrera.
Number 18, Braden Herrera.
Yeah, where was the roll of the R? This one's popped in the air out towards the left field. And again, Conrad just backpedals again and hauls it in. Just make that look routine again out there. Good job by our left fielder, Conrad Davis, getting the out. Keeps the runner over at first base. 2 down with a couple of flyouts to left field. 1 base hit. And that will bring up Jack Lidke.
Yeah, Conrad making those look routine, but part of that is because he's played in the wind.
And they chase that one, makes it out to the bleachers over on the first base side, right by the Waupun fans and parents out there. I think everybody got through that one all right. Heard it hit metal, not thunk on anybody. So, okay, 0-1 the count on Lidke. Now in the number 9 batting slot for Lomira, with top of the order Turner Wagner waiting on deck, I think. Yep. Pitch is going to miss just a bit high.
Thought it was a good pitch there from Chase. Took a little bit off of it, just didn't drop quite as much as he'd have liked.
And this is popped in the air out towards center field, ranging off to his left. And hauling it in out there.
Is Mason Holmes.
Okay, let's make sure it was Mason out there. If it was Brent Bryant, but it was Mason out there in center field for the out. So 3 flyouts, 1 base hit, nobody scores. And Waupun leading now 8-2 going into the bottom of the 6th inning. Back in 1 minute with more Waupun Warrior Baseball on Radio Plus.
HomeandAuto.com. Check out our selection of over 400 new and used vehicles. HomeandAuto.com. Every vehicle from all 4 of our locations in one convenient place. Find your perfect car without leaving home at HomeandAuto.com. New vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and Ford. Pre-owned from $39.82 and certified pre-owned. Plus the warranties and hometown service you can depend on. Make the Holman family your first stop at HomeandAuto.com. We make you feel at home at Holman.
Are you missing out on life? Does chronic joint pain prevent you from doing the things you love? I get it. All you think about is pain. This is Dr. Randy Blahoviak with New Medical Center. We have the solution to your problem. If you suffer from debilitating and chronic joint pain, learn how innovative medicine with human cellular tissue products can get you back to living your best life. Call New Medical Center for an alternative approach with innovative medicine at 920-249-8757.
Did you know that Ergo Bank of Marquezan and Fox Lake offers Casasa Rewards checking accounts? All Casasa Rewards accounts include refunds on ATM withdrawal fees. When you meet the monthly qualification criteria, there's no monthly maintenance fee and no minimum balance requirement. Best of all, you get rewarded for things you probably do anyway, such as using your debit card and setting up a direct deposit. Discover the benefits of opening a Casasa Rewards checking account at Ergo Bank of Marquezan and Fox Lake.
With mycnhistore.com, you can manage your equipment at any time, from anywhere, all from the convenience of your laptop or phone. Just search genuine New Holland parts by category, model, or part number, and keep your equipment running efficiently. Need a genuine New Holland part and don't have time to wait? Visit mycnhistore.com and get it done faster. Waupun Equipment Company, Waupun and Watertown. Log on waupunequipment.com and like them on Facebook.
Okay, we are back. Pitching change now for the Lomira Lions as they trail Waupun 8-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. You got the big guy out there. He got a base hit, his first at bat in the top half of the inning. That is Brad Woyan. He was over at first base. Now they moved him into pitch, a left-handed pitcher. Good-sized young man out there on the mound for the Lomira Lions. And Mason Holtz up watches strike one go by with no offer on the first pitch into him. Mason looking for his first hit of the ball game.
Did a great job of pitching here for the Warriors to get them in this spot.
Hard swing, chops it over towards second base. Second baseman gets him. A nice job by Eli Filber over there to get the ball over to Josh Stagger to get the out just in time.
Did a good job there getting that, picking up on that hop quickly and then pulling it out of the glove and firing it over there. Especially with the speedy Mason Holtz running down the line.
Yeah, you had a ways to go up there, right on the edge of the infield grass to get it on a high chopping ball. That one kind of crowding the plate, and that one catches, they say, the inside part of the plate for a called strike one. Won the count to Evan Sauer. Kind of an unusual
delivery.
Kind of shot putting it down there a little bit, steering it in a little bit, but getting a little more velocity than I thought he was going to get on his pitches. Misses on the last pitch, makes the count 1-1. Little snap of the wrist at the end of it. Misses on the next pitch, makes the count 2-1. Evan on the game, a couple singles, has scored once. Hard shot out to left field that was hauled in. So he's 2 for 3 in the game so far. Another hard hit ball right down the line. That is fair. And it's going to be an extra base at least for Evan Sauer heading over to second base. Gets himself a one-out double. Third hit of the ball game for Evan.
Such quick hands for Evan Sauer. I mean, he just ripped that ball quickly down that line. Good play there by the left fielder for Lomira to get over in position and get that ball in quickly, because Evan definitely would jump on it and take off. So that was Turner Wagoner out there for Lomira.
Third hit of the ball game again for Evan. Puts a guy at second base on that double. And we'll bring up Jake Krieger up to bat. A couple strikeouts and one walk for him so far in the ball game. Way ahead of on that one. Hit it hard, but pulls it well foul over on the third base side for strike one. Got to be patient. A little less velocity in the with the pitcher right now, Brad Woyan. Sometimes when you see faster guys out there and they bring a guy a little slower in, that can take you a few at bats just to get the timing with that. But a good job, like I said, by Evan Sauer to wait on it and have a nice shot right down the third base line for that double.
Just to make sure, talk to those hitters, move up in the box, because that makes that adjustment.
Evan goes. There will be a thrower there. Head first slide over there, and Evan, like Spider-Man, sticks to third base to stop himself, and momentum. Of course, Waupun knows how to slide on these bases here.
Watching the pitcher, Brad Woyan, he noticed that he didn't have quite that quick delivery coming to home, so he decided to jump on it as soon as he noticed that the kick was crossing the body plane there.
Pitch down to the dirt and blocked by Zangle. Count is now 2-1 to Jake Krieger. Looking to add to his RBI total with that runner at third base right now. Just one down for the Warriors, leading now 8-2. They're coming high and tight on him, and a swing and a miss by Krieger. Count is now 2-2.
Jake looked at that, thought it looked pretty good. A little bit tight in on the hands.
2-2 pitch again. Big Brad Woyan on the mound. Big lefty for the Lomira Lions. It's going to miss well high. Puts the count at 3-2.
Good patience there. I mean, it's easy to you see that ball at the eye level there to want to go out there and attack it.
3-2 pitch now from Woyan. That one's going to bounce across the plate, and now runners at the corners. He loses them. So a double followed by a walk, putting runners at the corners for Waupun. We'll bring up Chase Beam. He had a single his last at-bat back in the fifth inning and also scored. He's crossed home plate a couple times this game for Waupun. Trying to extend their 8-2 lead here on your new medical integrated healthcare scoreboard.
Wind dying down a little bit, looking at the flag out there and right.
Reaching out, just following it back. First pitch into Beam. Now the pitcher in the ball game. Yeah, it's a little off from that. It's been pretty strong winds the last couple of days here. It's about as weak of wind as I've seen since we've done the games the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Do you have that at the top of your head, what the games that we're doing next week?
Next week, Monday, we will be over at Randolph. We've got Oakfield versus Randolph baseball.
This one's popped in the air in the infield. Second baseman Eli Filbert gets underneath it, hauls it in for the out, keeping runners at first and third. 2 outs now for Waupun. Looking to try to get something across the plate. Okay, so Randolph against Oakfield and Randolph on Monday.
Yeah, I believe we have Waupun softball on Tuesday, but I am not confident yet. I'll pull up the calendar and see what it is. And I believe on Thursday we have back here for baseball. So let me see if I can pull up my calendar here on the computer here and see if I can get for sure who's playing who.
I tell you, I've watched the softball team play a few innings here this season so far. That's right on my end of town, so I took a little ride over there, and man, they've got some hitters. They're taking the ball yard. They're got great pitching on the team, great fielding. They got something going on. It's a very young team, as we've said, with the baseball team, softball team, basketball team. Youth is being served here in Waupun sports right now.
It looks like I guess I had that wrong, Steve. I thought we had baseball. It's softball both times, and I think that
that was scored away from the third baseman, and here comes Sauer in to score for Waupun, and runner now advances Krieger over to second base, so do get a run in with that Ball squirting away on that throw over to third base, away from the third baseman. So run does come in. Runner at second. So what is our schedule?
So it's Oakfield Randolph baseball on Monday.
Okay.
Softball, Waupun versus Plymouth here at home. And then Waupun softball is at Winneconne. That's supposed to be on our schedule. So
Winneconne's not a bad place to call a game from. They got a nice press box, but you're just a little off to the left of behind home plate. But they have a really nice, good-sized press box there.
So I think I'm going to have to take a little bit of personal time to try and get there, to get to Winneconne.
Yeah, I'd love to have you up there. I'm sure that everybody would love to have you up there for it. Yeah, and it's usually a pretty good battle between Waupun and Winneconne.
And I enjoy doing that. So up now for Waupun, stepping in is number 13, Colin Camphouse, up to bat. Or did you have that already and I wasn't paying attention?
No, I did not. I saw it there. I was just kind of going for my roster over here. Saw Colin. Didn't see his face, so I saw 13. And it was 13.
Mm-hmm.
He made the most of his. He got out there yesterday, I think, and got himself on base in that last inning. So Rich and Shar, pay attention here. Your grandson's up to bat.
Jake Krieger standing over at second.
This one's going to miss outside. 3-2 the count. It was 2-3 there for a second. But 3-2 the count. With Colin Camphouse up to bat for Waupun. Runner in scoring position over at second base with Jake Krieger over there.
Good.
Fastball is going to miss high, and again finding his way on base one way or another. You got Colin Camphouse on. Runners at first and second base.
Coming to the plate, number 1, Landon.
And make sure to stick around after the game. We'll be doing some interviews. I'll head out there and grab a few players, and hopefully Coach Derek Stanke, unless he talks quite a while after the game, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to get him or not, but we're going to try.
Yeah, I think that I did talk to him about wanting to do post games yesterday when I was down here a little bit earlier to get things set up, and he said he definitely would like that. So I think same idea that you did yesterday, going over to the coach and saying, I want to talk to you and a couple of the boys and shorten things up on that. It's a Friday night fish fry. We got to get a chance to go get some of that yet.
Why'd you mention that food?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get armed because you get a little bonfire going, and we'll have some pudgy pies and some.
That sounds good,
some hot dogs over the grill.
Yeah.
Over his fire pit in the back. So maybe I'll talk him into that. And of course, it's actually a fire danger right now. I think we're the red flag warning with the winds and the dryness. They have had some fires on it. I don't think we're really supposed to have bonfires.
I think I saw that one came down, though, today.
Did it? Okay.
The one for our area. It's still a little bit north. I think there was a fire over like in Juneau County or something like that had scorched like 300 acres or something like that.
I don't want to be known as a footnote in Waupun history. The Great Armga Fire of 23. Took out the whole north side of town all the way out to Alto. So, yeah, we don't need that.
Nope. You guys have made your name other ways. The pickleball champions.
Yeah, well, Randy has. He's a pickleball champion. They went over to Madison and played a tournament over there, and it was one of the lower level things. But we're just all kind of
just getting it started.
Just getting it started there. So him and Andy Truan went over there and they won. But then they tried to go up one notch to the next harder level, and they got smoked. With a trophy, still with your tail between your legs, coming back to Waupun. But they got that trophy or a medal that they got over there.
Yeah, I mentioned I would like to do that as soon as I retire because I'm going to need at least 3 days to recover after playing.
I was at the doctor today with nursing my pickleball soreness, back, ankle, but I had fun. When I'm playing, I'm fine. I feel like I'm a teenager again, but it's just that next morning it's rough.
Oh, well, you played tennis too, right?
Yeah. So it's a lot. If you play tennis or you play ping pong, it's definitely a plus with that. And then they walk. Landon Richter gets issued a walk, and now bases are loaded with 2 down. And
Conrad Davis
coming out again.
Oh. Is this the first time to Woyan, or is this the second? Is he going to have to pull him? I think this is the first mound visit, isn't it?
Just the first one, for the pitcher now with Brad Woyan on the mound. So just get him in there. We'll see if we can figure out a way to get that third out. Bases loaded, so a big moment here for Waupun. And it's kind of holding the ball. I thought he was going to hand it to the coach now. So I'll keep it, coach. I can do it. So good for Brad.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what the teammates were saying and the coach.
Yeah, they gave him the second baseman and third baseman gave him Nux and said, come on, man, you can do it.
Trust us on the defensive side. Throw some strikes.
What I like about team sports, you're out there for your teammates out there. You encourage them, and so you can do it. You can get this last out. Conrad Davis says, I don't want to be at my expense, though.
Yeah,
is what he
right.
says. Bases loaded now for Waupun. 1 run in the inning, now leading 9-2. Here's a called strike.
Does exactly what the coach called for.
Yeah, throw strikes, see what happens. And you heard that from the coach earlier, that he was going to be putting a lot of different pitchers in. They threw their main pitchers in the games against WLA conference games. Got to save those pitchers for that. Goes behind the head of Conrad.
Interesting strategy.
Just where I wanted it. Who was the pitcher at the state tournament that came in to finish the game with Bronkhorst ran out of pitches, and they brought him out, and I cannot think of his name.
Vaughn.
Yeah, Vaughn
Williston.
He claims that he threw that one warm-up pitch way high just to kind of scare him so they won't get settled in the box. And the more I got to know Vaughn, the more I knew he was probably telling the truth. That's probably exactly what he did.
Yes.
That's exactly why I did it.
Yeah.
So at the state tournament.
Yeah, that was fantastic, too, there. I mean, Bronkhorst threw a great game. And, again, I think Vaughn was a sophomore. Comes in to finish at state, right?
Biggest stage. Offer on that one from Conrad. Chops it foul over on the first base side. Yeah, we've had some characters in the past here through Waupun, but what a great tradition for baseball. And I've been watching baseball in this town ever since I was a kid and coming to watch the Legion games, which were just unbelievably. They had to bring the football bleachers down there to the field over at Schlevy Field back in the day.
Wow.
So many people would come and watch the games. You travel and watch them. I remember going up to Tomahawk and watching some of the state stuff. Hard hit ball, but pulled foul and out of play down the right field line. Just some great names. It's fun getting together with some people that really know the history of it, and they can just name off name after name from the past and the great successes that they had, some unbelievable baseball players, great program year after year.
Yeah, and they continued to be invested here by the city and the community investing into our complex here. So it's...
You watch those Little League fields and how full those are, and those tournaments on the weekends, how many teams they bring in, and they don't bring some little towns. I mean, they bring teams like Appleton in here and teams from Green Bay and these big schools in here. So they're having top-notch competition. These kids are battle-tested by the time they get up here and get on the JV and varsity. These guys have played a lot of baseball and a great program to feed into that here in this town. Very proud to be part of that, and my grandson's now in it. Will pop up out towards the shortstop and short center field. He's done that 3 times in the ball game, catching that right in that same spot. But Waupun does come up with a run. They lead 9-2, and we head to the top of the 7th inning, coming up in just 1 minute. Waupun leading 9-2 on your new medical integrated healthcare scoreboard. Back after this on Radio Plus.
Let's spring into a new career with Saputo. Become part of a great company and team. Due to their continued growth, Saputo has full-time benefit-eligible maintenance and 12-hour shifts available in their Alto facility. Saputo offers entry-level pay starting at just under $23 per hour and operator's pay starting at over $26 an hour. Great benefits and shift pay. Log on saputo.com/careers. Spring into a new career at Saputo. Saputo is an equal opportunity employer.
The Hour Bar on Main Street, Waupun is a great place to meet friends. Owners Bob and Tana invite you to join them for their daily specials and great atmosphere. They also bring in top-notch entertainment and host many special events. The Hour Bar is also the perfect place to cheer on the Packers, Bucks, Brewers, and Badgers. There's TVs everywhere you look. After today's game, head to the Hour Bar, 433 East Main Street, Waupun, a proud supporter of high school sports.
Welcome back here to Gerald E. Thompson Field, affectionately known as the Gus to the folks here in Waupun, as we were talking a little bit about the history here, Steve.
Yeah, great history in Waupun baseball. What a great facility here, and seeing the great Kevin DeBoer's number out there on the fence. First ball, a couple hops over to Sauer. Throws to first base to get the out for out number 1. And the things that Kevin did during his tenure as the coach here at Waupun, and the young men's baseball abilities that he molded, a state championship or 2 in there for him, and
yeah, absolutely amazing.
Great memories of Kevin DeBoer, and Derek Stanke being one of his students, really brought up being his assistant coach during the time. It just seamlessly kind of went right into Derek, and really has a passion for baseball and softball. He's going to be he's the head of the Legion girls softball in the state of Wisconsin. He'll be coaching the team too. Yeah,
continuing to grow the program, this time on the girls' side.
So it's chopped over towards third, backhanded by Hull across the field, and that one's going to bounce past Krieger over at first base, and runner heading over to second base. So runner at second with 1 down.
There's a good backhand pick there by Emmett, but then just rushed that throw. Spiked it in the dirt in front of Jake Krieger. Again, it was a tough play. I mean, he had to turn the body.
Yeah. Josh Steger up to bat. Now for the Lions, the runner at second base, 1 down. And that one again, they're going to go test Emmett again. Looks over to second and throws to first, and they do get the out. Nice little scoop on the short hop over there by Krieger, but textbook, look the runner back over at the base pass and throw it across the field. He does get over to third base anyway, but still, they do get that out at first.
Exactly, and that's all you need right now is get the outs, right?
Here's the guy that has all the RBIs for the Lions in the day, that had that 2-run single back in the 5th inning, and that's Brady Mann.
Beam getting a little bit more comfortable out there, it looks like to me, in this inning here, as he's throwing a little bit more heat.
And he is hit high in the air out towards right center field, and that's going to fall in. He gets himself another RBI. Round second and is going to head to third base. Going to get himself an RBI triple for the Lions. Makes it a 9-3 game.
Yeah, good
looked
piece
harmless,
of hit.
looked kind of harmless enough, and also the thing just kept on carrying out there towards center field. Holtz gave it a good chase out there, but brings a run in and gets himself to third base. Nice job for Brady.
Yeah, he had to, seeing these hits here to the left-hand side of the field, so you got Mason shifting a little bit there and left a huge gap over there in that right center, and Mann with a great piece of hitting, and as you said, he's got all 3 RBIs today for the Lomira Lions.
Connor Steers up to bat now for the Lions with that runner at third base. Pond just trying to close it out now. 2 outs on the board. 9-3 lead here in the top of the 7th inning. Get that last out and take your victory. Go to 6-1 on the season. Act like yesterday never happened against Laconia.
Yep.
Never happened. You're back your last game as a winner. And they're going to be put to the test coming up next week, a full schedule. I heard the coach say maybe 5 games coming up next week.
For the Warriors?
They have the DeBoer Classic. Is that coming up next?
Oh, that's what it is.
The DeBoer Classic. So a ton of games. Got some great teams coming on. I'm not sure if you know any of the ones offhand that are coming in?
I did see them.
I didn't see it on their main schedule. Still a full slate of games. Well, Pond never backs down from playing anybody, and they do that. Like I said before, they do it from Little League on, and they do it up in varsity level too.
Brings up number 22, Easton Zangle.
So runners now at the corners.
Beam issuing the walk.
Easton Zangle up to bat. Denmark's coming. They're the number 1 ranked team, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember. I know
Jefferson? Are they bringing Jefferson over? I thought they had to play them sometime this season. If you're bringing Denmark over, you'd bring in the top-ranked team in the state in their division. 2-time state champs. And that one is a good piece of hitting out towards our right field. That's going to get past our right fielder
Colin
out
Camphouse.
there with Camphouse out there. Going to spun past him and 2 more runs come in. Makes it now a 9-5 lead for Waupun. Waupun trying to shut the door, but the Lions won't let them do it. Got their foot in the door right now, and they've got 3 runs in, and now move back within 4, 9-5. And you got a guy who had a base hit, is only at bat of the ball game, and that's the pitcher in the game, Brad Woyan, up to bat. The runner at second base. So 2 more runs come in. 9-5 is the lead for Waupun. A called strike in the first pitch into Woyan. He went his last at bat, a single out to left field, going opposite field, big lefty. And the current pitcher for the Lions in the ball game. He'd love to be able to get himself back on the mound again, possibly. No.
Can I look at your phone? I'll just read it off there, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the teams that are coming in for the DeBoer Classic are
Columbus, West Allis, Nathan Hale, Lodi, Turner, Westosha Central, Lakeland, and DC Everest. So 2 schools from up in the Northwoods area there coming down. Thank you.
I want to sit down and foul. Is that just a Saturday tournament, or is that Friday and Saturday?
I believe it's a Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday with all those teams. So, hey, a great opportunity to come and watch some great baseball on Friday and Saturday right here at the Gus, the DeBoer Classic. Didn't chintz out on teams, bringing some top-notch competition in here, so you watch some great baseball Friday and on Saturday. You're right at the Gus. And here's a hard hit ball out to the nice job by Holtz. That kind of sliced over to Holtz and goes right into his glove. Made it look easy. I thought that thing was for sure going to drop in, and Mason says, no, that's from the center fielder. I cover half the field out here, and he brought it in for the out. Waupun wins 9-5 here in their ball game. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to head down to the field, see if I can get a few interviews with the coach and a few players in just a few minutes on Radio Plus.
Andy with us here, the other bar, Main Street in downtown Waupun. The weather's turning, Andy. It's baseball weather, your favorite, right? Here we go.
Absolutely. The Brewers are on. It's my time of year. The kids are playing well, rolling right along. You can guarantee we've always got the Brewer games going every time they're playing.
Some of the tap lines are always changing, Andy. Some of the seasonal stuff. Talk about that for us.
We're starting to transition over some of the darker stuff and into some of the lighter stuff for summer. We've got a sour on tap right now, and you can definitely find our featured beer from Three Sheeps called the Other Bar Pills. That one we got rolling. That's a mainstay. You'll have to chop in and check out what we got. We got 16 different tap lines going and constantly rolling barrels over, and Steve and I are making things interesting as we go.
11 o'clock is when you open daily, in and out for lunch, too.
We've always got something going on at the special board. You'll have to stop in and see what Tierney's rolling out of the kitchen for that day. We always have hot beef, hot pork, and hot turkey with mashed potatoes and gravy. That's pretty much a mainstay, but Tierney is always rolling something out every day.
Andy, have a great week. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
The Other Bar, Main Street, downtown Waupun.
Excellence in dentistry meets exceptional service. It's Dentistry of Wisconsin in Waupun and Beaver Dam. From routine cleanings, checkups, and maintenance to more advanced dental care and cosmetic services, choose Dentistry of Wisconsin. Doctors Metzger's, Truckenbrod, Dittman, and Warner, along with their friendly staff, are here to care for you. Visit their state-of-the-art facilities in Waupun and Beaver Dam, accepting new patients. Dentistry of Wisconsin. They'll give you a reason to smile both inside and out.
Welcome back here to the Gus as we get ready for the on-field interviews. Go ahead.
Okay, we are out on the field here at Gerald E. Thompson Field, Waupun, winning 9-5. Steve Witterhack with you, and again, nice to be on the winning side again after a rough game yesterday against Laconia. But let's talk about the game today, a 9-5 victory over Lomira.
Yeah, 2 different days here. We just came out a lot more focused, and that was what we talked about last night after the game, was just seeing that they're not playing very well, and mostly with things that we could control last night. So I'm very happy with the way they responded today, and Mason pitched great, of course, and we got some timely hits, and it is the 4th game of the week, so you never know how those long weeks are going to last at the end. So
the thing I like is you've been kind of doing this over the last years. You got somebody like Hunter Camp that you can put out there, and it's always nice to have a guy in the number 9 slot that can hit and set up the top of the order, and he's been doing it these last couple of days. Even with that loss yesterday, he had 3 hits in that ball game.
Yeah, he's been hitting the ball well. He's been in the 9 spot the last 2 years in the order, but he does a lot of good things for us, turning the lineup over, and you got guys at the top that are doing their jobs too. So there's just no quit in the lineup, and that's what you need to be successful.
Coach, we'll let you take the weekend off. You got a busy week coming up next week in the DeBoer Classic coming up next Friday and Saturday. What kind of teams you bringing in for that?
Yeah, we got the same 8 teams as we did last year, so it's very loaded tournament. West Osha Central from D1, they were at state. Boy Turner's always one of the top teams in the state in D2. DC Everest has a kid going D1. So it's we play our first game against Lakeland out of Minocqua there. I don't know how much they've been out on the field yet this year with the weather up there, but they're last I did see they were 2-0 as well. So just a lot of all day Friday and Saturday, both here at the Gus and Schlevy. So stop on out.
Okay, Derek Stack.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go right down the line with Hunter Camp again. Hunter's been a tough out these last couple of days. A couple doubles and a single yesterday. They finally got you out and retired you today, one at bat, but you had a couple of hits again today. And talk about the importance of being that number 9 hitter and your job as kind of setting up the top of the order again.
Yeah, I go out there, try to get on base for these guys like Mason Evans so they can hit doubles in the gaps and drive us home. Get on any way I can by bunting or just a bloop single and stealing some bases too.
You think they were afraid of your throwing to second base? I didn't see them trying to steal a whole lot on you today.
Yeah, I've had some good throws this year. I think that's starting to scare a couple teams.
It kind of helps that you have Mason left here that kind of keeps them close over there too. So what were your teams at right now? Changed from yesterday to today.
Team's looking good. We're playing as a team. Just got to limit the errors, and I think we'll do good this year.
Okay, Hunter, thanks for joining us. Great game.
Thank you.
Hunter Camp joined us at the Mason Holtz. Oh, let's go right over to Evans. Yeah, big day at the plate for you today. A couple singles, a double today. You crossed home plate a couple times. And what'd you like about what you saw here today? It looked like you liked everything that was coming in today.
Yeah, I mean, I was, sitting fastball most of the time, really driving it. I mean, we all really hit the ball good. I think we played well as a team.
How do you like that shortstop spot? I remember you as the catcher your freshman year. You probably maybe didn't really want to stay being a catcher at that time, and it looks like you're pretty comfortable over at shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really expect to stay at catcher much longer than my first year. And I mean, I'm getting more comfortable at shortstop, really kind of cleaning it up.
Okay, does any of this help you with your job working? Are you working over at Wren's Nursery right now too? I hear the guys talking about you over there. They say you do a pretty good job over there too. So does that get you in shape for baseball?
Oh yeah, really hard work over there, stay in shape.
Okay, well thanks for joining us. Great game.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, that was Evan Sauer. Now we're going to talk to Mason Holtz. And Mason, again, really the main pitcher on the team right now. You're definitely the go-to guy out there. How are you feeling out there today with your locations on your pitches and facing the batters from Lomira today?
Oh, I felt good. They're a good team, and they can hit the ball well. I think Hunter did a great job expanding the zone a little bit, and I just tried to get ahead and hit the corners, make it hard for them.
Yeah, you got your pitching in for the week, and coming up next week, you got a couple conference games, and looking forward to playing some of those teams they're bringing in for the DeBoer Classic next week.
Oh, absolutely. It's always fun. It's always a good test to see how we are, and I think it gets us prepared for those tougher conference games like Campbell and Kewaskum later in the year.
Yeah, great pitching game today. Had a great hitting game yesterday for him, so a great job these last 2 days.
Yeah, it's great. We're all hitting the ball well all up and down the lineup, and like Hunter said earlier, we got to limit some of the errors, but it's great. We're playing as a team, and I think we can do good stuff this year.
Okay, take the weekend off and have a good time, and we'll see you play next week.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, Mason Holtz joining us here in the post-game show. So again, Waupun winning 9-5. We'll send it back up to Jeff. He can kind of wrap it up there, and hope you enjoyed the broadcast and our presentation on Radio Plus of the 9-5 victory for the Waupun Warriors.
Great job there, Steve. Thanks again for getting down on the court on the baseball diamond there to get those interviews for us. Appreciate that. A good job there again by the players. I'm going to switch my camera here because I'm not kind of like that. So Waupun Warriors tonight come out victorious in this contest. Let's take a look quickly at some numbers here. Warriors had 9 runs on 7 hits, 8 walks, 6 strikeouts. And let's see if we can get a little bit of how well some of the hitters did there. Brian Ferris was 1 for 2. And Chase Beam was 1 for 3. Evan Sauer was 2 for 4, and Emmett Hull was 2 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout for the Waupun Warriors. So a nice job there again, and Mason Holtz on the mound for the Warriors for the first 5 innings was dealing. He had 86 pitches, 67% strikes thrown. Gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts, and only 2 walks in the game. And Chase Beam comes in and mops things up for him. 27 pitches, 3 hits, gave up 3 runs, and 1 walk. And the Warriors come out of this contest here again against a flyway conference opponent just down the road in Lomira and get the victory here from the Gus. We thank you for listening. Again, we'll be on 2 softball games next week for following the Lady Warriors, and one of them will be at Winneconne on Thursday. I am planning to come down here and, like Steve said, come and watch some of the baseball down here Friday and Saturday. I might jump on and do a couple of games here for the Warriors and put those out on my YouTube channel. So would love to have you follow along if I'm able to get that set up down here. But once again, the Waupun Warriors win 9-5 over the Lomira Lions. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. It's been a pleasure bringing it to you. So take care, and we'll see you down here at the Diamonds. For Jeff Sauer and Steve Winterhack and RP Sports.
Radio Plus Sports.
Free throw line, nice back cut, and a find to Cale Peterson. And Gracie Gopalin puts it up, puts it in, gets knocked to the floor into the free throw line. A little crossover dribble, goes up with the right hand, gets it to go. Waupun on a roll right now. Will go up with the left hand, puts it in. Another steal and a basket for the Randolph Rockets. Vanderwerf getting the ball to Spies, and she pounds one down and puts it off the arms of Delaney Rudinger and out of bounds. Waldo's going to get it near the middle, and DeVries pushes it off to the right. Off to the races the other way. Throws it up to Emba, throws it down and in. Unbelievable alley-oop to Ben Emba, throws it down for the 2. What a feed into Ben Emba from Will Sines.
Dual feeds Johannes again. That one off the window and in. Johannes to the line.
Thanks to our sponsors in today's game.
Laconia has the basketball with a chance. Madigan gets it in for Engel. Back to Madigan. Spots up. Got it! He scored!
And people, there are your state champions, the Randolph Lady Rockets. Congratulate them on an unbelievable storybook season. Your Waupun Lady Warriors are champions of Division III girls basketball.
The complete broadcast schedule can be found at radioplusinfo.com.